For news and information that matters. News Radio KDKA. Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 73 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 7 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. A person is dead after shooting at a Ligonier police officer during a traffic stop. This incident happened on Saturday evening along Route 30. That person is believed to have taken their own life following the traffic stop. No officers were injured in the ordeal. Westmoreland County detectives are investigating the incident. Well, a woman has died in a motorcycle crash Saturday afternoon. That crash happened around 1 o'clock on Oneida Valley Road. That's in Washington Township, Butler County. Crash took place on the route for the 14th annual Riding for the Cure, which began from American Legion Post 778 around 11 Saturday morning. A man also suffered severe injuries from the crash and is in the hospital. Meanwhile, the name of the woman who died has not been released. Well, a crash between a vehicle and fire engine sent 7 people to the hospital. This crash happened in Wilkinsburg on Saturday morning around 10:30 at Grand Boulevard and William Penn Highway. 4 firefighters were transported to the hospital in stable condition. 3 people from the vehicle were transported to the hospital. No word right now on their conditions. Close to a dozen people are recovering after a suspect went on a stabbing spree at a Michigan Walmart. Here's Allie Baxter of WWMT TV.
A Grand Traverse Sheriff deputy was on scene within 3 minutes. Sheriff Mike Shea also confirmed there was help from a citizen inside Walmart to get the suspect into custody.
The suspect is a 42-year-old male. We believe he acted alone at this time.
Acted alone, and according to the sheriff's office, he used a folding knife to injure the 11 victims. The sheriff says 6 men and 5 women were stabbed.
Pennsylvania Congressman Mike Kelly's office in Hermitage, Mercer County, was vandalized early Saturday morning. The words written in red on the office windows and door read things such as, quote, mental illness is not a crime, end quote, and, quote, GOP equals racism, rape, child rape, cover up, end quote. A statement for Congressman Kelly's office said no one was at the East State Street office when the vandalism took place. Congressman Kelly said in a statement that, quote, let's be clear, political violence and vandalism are never acceptable. U.S. Capitol Police are among the agencies investigating the incident. KDK Radio News Time coming up on 7:03. The AccuWeather forecast next.
Summer's here, and so is Len Lacina from Lacina Drapery and Blind Factory.
Lacina can immediately refresh your home with custom window treatments. For over 60 years, our family-owned company has handcrafted stunning draperies in our very own factory and offers top-quality blinds, shades, shutters, and more.
Take advantage of Lacina's free shop-at-home service or visit their showrooms in Dormont and Wexford. Remember, Lacina's prices can't be beat. 412-665-4900 or visit lacinadrapery.com.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today looks humid with clouds breaking for some sun. Watch for a couple of showers and a heavy thunderstorm into the early evening hours. Any storm may bring flash flooding and damaging wind with a high of 84. Then cloudy tonight with a low of 69, followed by partly sunny, hot and humid days for tomorrow and Tuesday with a high of 92 tomorrow, 94 Tuesday. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's time to get greened. Doug Oster is here. All natural, no pesticides, no artificial ingredients. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Yes, He is here, Doug Oster, DougOster.com, the organic gardener. And by the way, we always like to start by offering a gift. And this gift is an incredible one, a $25 gift certificate for the Sorgel family's incredible place off the Wexford exit, known simply as Sorgel's. So be the 10th caller at 412-922-1020. Today, it's all about gardening, tips, tricks, and more. Whatever you need, get on the line early, often, because we want your phone calls on gardening right now, up until 8 o'clock, 866-391-1020. So I see your man turned 82 this week.
I was wondering. I saw it was Mick's birthday, but I didn't see how old he was. 82? Is that what it is?
82 years young.
Boy.
So Ozzy Osbourne passed away, and you, a headbanger from way back in Ohio, your thoughts about the legacy of the great Ozzy Osbourne?
I can remember being 12 years old, and they had the that Black Sabbath album in the library at our school.
Really?
Yeah. It was 1972. So all these albums, nobody cared. They wanted people to be able to listen to the modern stuff. And I remember listening to that Paranoid album, and I was like, whoa, what is this? I mean, this was something I'd never heard of before. And then I was thinking, actually, at my 40th reunion, I saw a guy, and then after the reunion, I remember we sat there and listened to the song Sweet Leaf by Black Sabbath back in the day. And it's funny how those memories come up. But, yeah, Black Sabbath with Ozzy was just,
pretty
man.
good.
Yeah, it was something new. It was really heavy and something we hadn't heard before.
Well, just to give you an idea about your man and Mick Jagger and how he's still relevant, this young man, Youngblood, who I absolutely think is tremendous, did the changes at the Back to the Beginning Birmingham concert, the last concert recently with Ozzy reigniting his hometown with Black Sabbath. Said in his life there have been those experiences, and the other he was just talking about the other day prior to the death of Ozzy Osbourne was meeting Mick Jagger, and he said how Mick was everything he was on stage, energetic, youthful, and he said it was just such a cool experience. So those two guys, Ozzy sadly gone, but Mick's still out there. And look, I said this on the air. To me, listening to Black Sabbath and then him as a solo performer and obviously the reality TV show, as significant as Elvis, Sinatra, John Lennon, Charlie Watt, Ozzy Osbourne really has transcended generations. He has left a legacy that will be remembered as long as people are listening to music.
How did he ever get past the biting the head off the bat? You know, that was a big deal for a long time, but that just kind of faded away. And the way I was looking at the story, you know, during the obits was that he thought it was a toy or something and bit it off. Well, I don't know. That's what.
Wink, wink, hint, hint. But yeah, let's hope he did. But I'm sure. Hey, whatever. But what's even more amazing, God rest his soul, when Tommy Lee of Motley Crue says he was absolutely frightened partying with him and he had to leave the room because he was scared. How, God willing, it's got to be Sharon Osbourne. Bless her for everything. What an incredible woman. How he made it to 76 is beyond me.
Yeah, and Sharon reinvented him, helped reinvent him, and make him, you know, continue to be relevant.
Funny, great entertainer. But what's weird, watching all these clips of him as a parent on that reality show, like laying into his kids, he really was kind of like our dads growing up, you know, rough, tough, blue-collar town over in England. So I will miss him. But what about Hulk Hogan? What's your thoughts about Hulk Hogan?
I want to say one more thing about Ozzy.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ozzy watched his dad drink beer, okay, and he and the other adults, and he was just like, man, that must be the most incredible tasting stuff in the world. And then when he finally got old enough, went down to the pub and tasted it, he's like, this can't be right. This can't be what they've been drinking. This is the worst tasting stuff. Because, you know, your first beer, you're like, how could it be so terrible? And it definitely is an acquired taste. That's actually my favorite Ozzy story.
I loved Ozzy.
And Hulk Hogan, that's wild. My oldest son back in the day when he was a kid really enjoyed wrestling and Hulk and the Hulkster and everything. To me, and I'm sure to somebody, you know, our age, it seems really young.
Yeah,
to pass away.
71 and 76 is pretty young.
Yeah, for us. 20 years ago, we would have been saying, well, he lived a good life. But at our age, it's like, 71. That's young.
Here's what's really, and what I've been telling you off the air, and I've even told my radio audience, and I feel great, but you start thinking about your mortality. And one of the last interviews the Hulkster did, he was on that Theo Vaughn podcast. Theo Vaughn is like skyrocketing across every platform. And he talked about, in Major League Baseball, 20 years, basketball, you lose 10, 15, hockey, 10, 15. He said in wrestling, 350.
Yeah.
And he said he would go into hotel rooms and find these people passed away. And he said, I have a place in Clearwater with all these pictures and memorabilia, and I'm the only one left. He goes, you start thinking about your mortality. So very sad, way too young to pass away. And then this documentary on Billy Joel, everyone is just raving about it. I've got about 30 minutes to go, and I've watched it over 3 days. It is absolutely one of the most amazing documentaries. So sad you have to turn away at times because it really is kind of a gut punch at times.
I haven't seen it. I'm looking forward to watching it. I want to hear about when he dumped the band, the first band. Is that in there? Because that's a sad story where he had that first band. They went through all the hits, those early hits and everything, and then something happened financially where he found out that he was
former brother-in-law,
he was being ripped up, and he just fired all those guys except the drummer, and the drummer stayed with him for a little longer, but it caused havoc for these other guys' lives. They were never the same because they were part of Billy Joel's band.
Well, here's what you're going to find, and we've talked about it, and it's not a spoiler alert, but the person who tried to warn him over and over, and he wouldn't listen to her, was Christy Brinkley. It's intriguing. All right, so gardening.
Yes, on to gardening.
866-391-1020, all about gardening. Opening remarks.
So water and fertilize those containers. I was talking to Frank before I came in. He got a good rain yesterday. I did not. I got a little bit of rain, and it's that kind of spotty rain. And before we started here, I'm looking up at the weather. It looks like there's going to be another front coming through here around noon. I could use the water, and I want to hear today how your garden is doing. And we're mid-season. I had a great email today from somebody who's growing these yard-long beans, and I'm still planting in this weather. I'm like, for a while I was like, oh, I'm not going outside. I can't stand this weather. Well, it's been so long. I'm just like, I don't care. I was working in the greenhouse in this weather because I found a bunch of cool peppers on sale at Hahn Nursery. And look at all our other local nurseries and sponsors and see what's left, because I'm doing an experiment this year where I put all these peppers into big pots in the greenhouse, which is just like, I don't know if this is going to be a big mistake. If it's going to be too hot, we get a break in the weather on Thursday, but I just thought peppers, especially hot peppers, they love the heat of the day. That's why they grow best. I'm going to try them in there. And one really interesting one that I picked up, I had never heard of before. When I did post about it, I had some other people comment on it. It's called Chiltepin. Chiltepin, and it's sometimes referred to as the mother of all peppers. It's the only wild native chili pepper in the U.S. It was named Texas's official native pepper in 1997, and has these little itty-bitty peppers round, and here's the description from the plant tag. Quite hot, the heat is intense, but fades quickly, and has an earthy, smoky flavor. This rare chili still grows wild and is actually protected in 3 national parks. And I thought, wow, this is cool. I actually went back and bought a couple more. And then I had to go see my friend Hot Pepper Dave after I bought these hot peppers. I give him some. I have Hot Pepper Dave turned me on to Joe, who's working on the house. He's also a gardening friend, doing all the jobs in the house that I don't want to do, which is all of them. I'll work in the garden, but I will not work on the house.
So, as you know, I've become a do-it-yourselfer each and every season, doing more and more. So I finally went out and bought a garden hose. I got a quick question for you. I got so frustrated last night. You know exactly where I'm going with this. I took the whole thing and threw it in the recycling bin. I'm done. I
know the feeling.
Doug, it took me 20 minutes to cut the grass. For an hour, I was struggling, trying to get every ounce of water, trying to recoil, and I've rolled up cable my whole life.
Here's what to do, and this will solve your problem. You're going to have to get one of those things.
The wind. I know.
Even with that thing, I had that yesterday.
Ooh.
You know, I had to actually work on the pool and take apart the pump, and there's like a little thing in between, and
it looked like one of those nature, films. A guy fighting like a python,
boa constrictor.
I mean, I was so
PO'd.
You
got videos of you sitting down in your basement talking. We need a video of that. You need to give the phone to somebody.
But listen, my dad, like elbow, forearm.
Well, it might be the type of type of hose you have. It might be like one of those kind of cheap, stiff ones.
It is.
When you have a really nice rubber hose, it's heavy, but it just folds up into that circle.
Well, and the people who lived there before me, they put the mounting for the hose above the gas meter. But anyway,
Did you say any choice words while you were rolling up your hose?
Listen to me. I swear to you, if the neighbors were out, they probably thought, you know what? I told you he's been working too much. But I mean, I cut the grass and I said, I'm going to do the old Bob Pratt thing. I'm going to get my thing out. I'm going to get underneath the mower, kick all that extra grass out, going to hit the sidewalk a little bit and kind of enjoy a little bit of a light mist.
Honey, you better call 911. Something's going on over there.
It turned into a nightmare.
Battle of the hose with Rob Pratt.
I drug that hose into the garage because I was going to finish him. Let me tell you. I was
Cut it into pieces.
I was going to finish him. All right, listen, we want to talk gardening with you. Doug is here, so let's get going. 866-391-1020.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
News Radio, KDKA. Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you better. A Pittsburgh tradition. O'Neal Cruz hit a homer yesterday. Bucks shot out Arizona 2-0. Two teams again today at PNC Park. First pitch at 1:35. Paul Skeens gets the start. You can hear it on 93.7 The Fan. Today it's the Baseball Hall of Fame induction ceremony with names like Sabathia, Suzuki, and Wagner headed for the Hall, and going in posthumously, former Pirate Dave Parker and Wampum native Dick Allen. This Black and Gold Update report is brought to you by Goodrich & Geist. The Steelers inducted 3 players into their Hall of Honor yesterday, quarterback Ben Roethlisberger, Marquise Pouncey, and linebacker Joey Porter. And yeah, it is early in Latrobe, but the heat is on. KDK Sports Director Jeff Hathorn has the story.
The heat index in triple digits in Latrobe. Tight end Jonnu Smith nearly went through his first full practice as he's working back from a minor injury. The first-year Steelers tight end seems smitten with the environment at St. Vincent College.
This training camp, man, it's a true training camp. You know what I mean? It makes me feel like, you get that feeling when you walk in. It's like, well, this is the NFL. You know what I mean? And that's good. It's good for the mind, it's good for the soul, it's good for the body.
Steelers practice 1:55 today and off on Monday. With the Steelers, Jeff Hathorn, News Radio KDKA.
More sports at 937thefan.com.
What will you do when your home loses power? Stop waiting for the utility company to restore power. Prevent unpredictable outages with a standby Honeywell home generator by Generac from AirPro Heating and Cooling. Control your home's power and protect your family from power disruptions, unsafe situations, and inconvenience. Call someone you know. Call the home generator experts at AirPro Heating and Cooling today. 800-749-0642. Learn how easy and affordable home power protection is from your friends at AirPro.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at KennyRoss.com.
Jump in July savings continue at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. Boneless, skinless chicken breasts or breast tenders, $2.99 a pound. Sweet Northwest cherries, $1.88 a pound. And selected varieties of Totino's pizza rolls, 24.8-ounce package, $3.88 each. Additional savings in our meat department. All natural fresh chicken drumsticks, $1.29 a pound, and all natural fresh whole chicken wings are $2.29 a pound. In our produce department, locally grown zucchini or yellow squash, 99 cents a pound, and Pennsylvania grown baby bella mushrooms, 10-ounce packages, 2 for $6. In our deli department, Pittsburgh local Silver Star ham off the bone, $8.99 a pound, and award-winning flavor from Ohio, Guggisburg Swiss cheese, $6.99 a pound. And this week, selected varieties of Turkey Hill drinks. Gallon jugs are 2 for $5.
Get in on the Jump in July savings at Coons Market. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM at AM 1020. KDKA.
Next hour, sandwiches and finger food. with the Coombs Cooking Hour. But right now we're talking gardening. Let's head out to that great community of McDonald, Pennsylvania, where our buddy Will is standing by on KDKA. Hey, Will.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good.
Hey, I got a little bit of a zucchini problem here this year. Last year we grew zucchini, and we had more zucchini than we could ever use. We gave away a lot of it. This year we planted zucchini, and the plants came up nice and full, big, healthy plants. We got a few picks of zucchinis off of them. And next thing you know, the plants turned belly up and died. And we don't know what happened. With too much water, too hot.
No, probably.
We don't know.
Was it just like one day they looked amazing, and then the next day they looked all wilted, and no matter how much water you put on them, they wouldn't come back?
More or less, that's what happened. Yeah, they just turned belly up and died.
Yeah, that's a thing called bacterial wilt. Is my guess. I'd have to see them, but that's a pretty good guess. And that's transmitted through cucumber beetles. And just some years, that's what happens. The cucumber beetle infects that plant with the bacterial wilt. Once it gets that disease, that's over. The plant is
we've lost about 3 of our 4 plants that way.
That's heartbreaking. And so moving forward, do you still have a plant that survived, or are they all gone now?
Well, so far we got one that looks pretty healthy, but I don't know how long it's going to last.
I would look at it carefully, especially inside the flowers, and look for cucumber beetles. If you see cucumber beetles, then you're going to have to treat for them. They are a chewing insect, and the thing is, they don't do too much damage when they're chewing, but they're infecting the disease with the plant with disease. So if you look at the plant very closely, and you will see on the edges, you'll see where that little pest has been chewing. And again, they're like little green beetles, very small, sometimes striped, sometimes spotted. If you see cucumber beetles in there, you want to use this stuff called Captain Jack's Dead Bug Brew. You spray it on the plant. This bug, while it's chewing, will ingest it. It affects its nervous system. It can't hurt. This stuff can't hurt you. It can't hurt the good bugs. And then you'll be done with the cucumber beetles, and then you won't have the disease. And then maybe take a look. If anybody has any plants left, I wouldn't be afraid to just stick some zucchini plants in the ground right now and hope for the best. And just watch for those cucumber beetles, and then you'll be okay. Keep that other plant thriving, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Keep them coming, folks. 866-391-1020. Let's go to Upper St. Clair and say good morning. Denise wants to talk about fig trees. Hey, Denise, good morning.
Good morning. I have a fig tree that's pretty old. I mean, it's mature, maybe 15, 16 years old. Just this past month, one branch on the tree that had a bunch of leaves at the very end and about 5 figs, all of a sudden, the leaves became very dry, and they all fell off. It is the only branch on the whole tree that has behaved that way, and I don't know what to do. I'm afraid maybe that one branch is infected, and I should cut it off. Any suggestions?
Yeah, I would first go to the end of that branch and start to bend it, and if it just cracks off, it's dead. Dead is dead, and then, yes, you remove it. And I would be tempted to remove that branch. I'm so glad you brought up figs, because the other thing to watch for, spotted lanternfly loves figs. And spotted lanternfly will be all up and down the stems. If somebody else out there is growing figs and you have the spotted lanternfly, the thing to do is cover that cover that pest with something called horticultural oil. Spray that on there. That's going to be my job today. I've got my best fig of the year. Of the years this year. And so for your plant where that is dying, take a branch and just kind of cut it or break it in half, and if it's still green and flexible, I would wait. See if it puts on more leaves. If you see at the end that it's cracked and brown and dead, remove the branch. But it's not going to get into the rest of your plant. Fig trees are really tough, and there aren't many really serious pests or disease for them. So there's no reason to panic, but just keep an eye on that one branch. See how it does, and test it to see if it's alive or dead. If it's still alive, I would still give it a couple more weeks and see what it does, okay?
Okay, so this oil you're talking about, would that be neem oil?
You could use neem. That would be fine. And that's only if you see the pest. I've got them all over my fig tree. I saw them the other day, and I've been getting emails from people that are saying, like, hey, I've got spotted lanternfly all over my figs. The thing about these spotted lanternfly, they can only feed on certain plants because they need a plant that has what we call positive pressure. They can't suck out the juices they want. And so it has to have, and a fig and a maple and a tree of heaven and other plants, they push, if you put a little prick in that branch, it pushes out that liquid that they want. And that's what a spotted lanternfly needs. That's why they don't just destroy everything. They just have certain plants they're after. And just besides that branch, look at that plant and look closely. And because right now we're seeing the adult spotted lanternfly, which is orange and spotted. So just be aware of it, that it's going to want your fig tree. And then let me know. Give me a call back in a couple weeks and let me see if you're getting figs and what happened with that branch, okay?
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hey, real quick, Denise, before you go, what's the name? What's that bird in the background? You hear that bird? That's unique.
I am walking on the Mayview Park Trail.
Oh.
That bird actually is not all that interesting or unusual. It's a woodpecker.
A red-bellied
woodpecker.
I was going to say that, so I was correct. Thank you very much.
The red-bellied woodpecker is our friend. We hear him.
I've never seen one.
A red-bellied woodpecker? You'll hear them early in the spring. They're one of the first birds we hear, and they have kind of a shrill call, like that.
Right.
That call that you're hearing there is the summer call. If it is, I'm not familiar with that call on the red-bellied woodpecker, but red-bellied woodpecker is a great bird and will keep those trees insect-free.
So why do they hit the tree with that hammer-like beak? To find insects? Is that
yeah. They know that those bugs are in there, and they want to get to them, and that's the only way you're going to get to them.
Real quick, 30 seconds to the break. We were talking about Ozzy. Give you an idea of the significance of who he was and what he meant. Already there is a petition in England to rename the Birmingham airport after him.
That's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. All right, short break. We'll come back. Joe, West Virginia. We're going to get to you next. Boxwood beetles is what he wants to talk about. Anybody out there who wants to talk gardening, we've got available lines, and Doug would love to talk to you. 866-391-1020.
Hello, this is Sarah Botkin, president of Botkin Family Wealth Management, where I work with my dad Les and my brother Lester. If you've heard Dad talking about his previous career as a PGA golf pro, you know I grew up in a golf family. My very first job at age 15 was a caddy. Yep, I was the only girl caddy at Nevillewood. I made $30 a round, and I got to watch a lot of golfers, their swing, their attitudes, and their reactions. The best players were those who remained focused no matter what happened. They never got too excited by a great hole or too rattled by a bad shot or an unlucky break. Investing holds the same principles. A market downturn can be upsetting, but staying calm is the key to success. At Botkin Family Wealth Management, we help you keep emotions out of your investment decisions so that you can stay focused on what you want to accomplish. Dad and I are certified financial planners, and Lester is a chartered financial analyst. We work as a team, your team. Learn more at botkinfamilywealth.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Hey, pick your own weekend, August 9th and 10th. Always a good time had by one and all at these pick your own weekends, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., $15 per peck basket. Over 5 acres of fields to pick your own vegetables. Produce includes tomatoes, zucchini, peppers, beans, cucumbers, eggplant, lettuce, and more. Mouth-watering good. Pick your own weekend. Janoski's. That's Janoski's, Route 30 in Clinton, August 9th and 10th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pick your own weekend coming in August to Janoski's.
Hey, Colin Dunlap here for Boulevard Glass and Metal. It's July, hot and humid. You want to cool down in the shower? Only that silly plastic shower curtain keeps wrapping around your leg. Well, call Boulevard Glass and Metal for a custom glass shower enclosure right now. These are the same guys that install those large glass storefronts all around Pittsburgh. Check out their easy, hassle-free quote request online, boulevardglassandmetal.com, or call 412-621-1799. Boulevard Glass and Metal, clearly the right choice.
If you're turning 65 this year, review your Medicare Part C options now. You need to know the difference between Advantage plans versus supplement plans. Contact locally owned and operated Need Part C today for a free consultation. That's Need Part C. Beat the annual enrollment rush. NeedPartC.com.
Do you consider someone in our Pittsburgh area a hero? A hero can be your neighbor, a teacher, a church leader, or even your parent. Someone who has done something extraordinary. Once again, KDKA Radio needs your help as we honor 5 local heroes in our community. Nominate your hero for Larry Richards' Hometown Heroes event at KDKARadio.com. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 72 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 7:30. I'm Rob Taylor. A woman has died in a motorcycle crash from Saturday. That crash happened around 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon on Oneida Valley Road. That's in Washington Township, Butler County. Crash took place on the route for the 14th annual Riding for the Cure, which began from American Legion Post 778 around 11 Saturday morning. A man also suffered severe injuries from that single motorcycle crash and is in the hospital. Name of the woman who died has not been released. Well, a crash between a vehicle and a fire engine sent 7 people to the hospital. That crash happened in Wilkinsburg Saturday morning around 10:30 at Grand Boulevard and William Penn Highway. 4 firefighters were transported to the hospital in stable condition. 3 people from the vehicle were also transported to the hospital. No word on their conditions. Pittsburgh police are searching for a missing 15-year-old boy. Timothy Powell was reported missing after leaving a local hospital in the 3800 block of O'Hara Street Saturday morning. Powell is known to have mental health challenges and may be drawn to areas with water. He also is reported to be fearful of law enforcement, which could affect how he responds if approached. Powell is 5'7", 130 pounds, with blue eyes, blonde hair. Last seen wearing a gray T-shirt with blue jeans and shower shoes. If you know his whereabouts, call Pittsburgh police. Well, a man is dead, or a person rather is dead, after shooting at a Ligonier police officer during a traffic stop. The incident happened Saturday evening along Route 30. That person is believed to have taken their own life following the traffic stop. No officers were injured. Westmoreland County detectives are investigating the incident. Close to a dozen people recovering after a suspect went on a stabbing spree at a Walmart in Michigan. Here's Allie Baxter of WWMT Television.
A Grand Traverse Sheriff deputy was on scene within 3 minutes. Sheriff Mike Shea also confirmed there was help from a citizen inside Walmart to get the suspect into custody.
The suspect is a 42-year-old male. We believe he acted alone at this time.
Acted alone, and according to the sheriff's office, he used a folding knife to injure the 11 victims. The sheriff says 6 men and 5 women were stabbed.
KDK Radio News Time is 7:32. The AccuWeather forecast next.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos. Fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Home title theft. It's on the rise and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert. And that's bad news for home title thieves. So when's the last time you checked on the title to your home? Find out if you're already a victim with your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value free with sign up. Just go to HomeTitleLock.com and sign up in minutes. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Clouds will give way to some sun at times today. It stays humid with showers and a heavy thunderstorm lasting into the early evening. Any storm may bring damaging wind with a high of 84, then cloudy tonight, low 69, followed by twin hot, humid, and partly sunny days tomorrow and Tuesday with a high of 92 tomorrow, 94 Tuesday. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, let's just say if you're the 10th caller, you're going to win yourself a gift certificate to Janoski's in Clinton at Pick Your Own Weekend coming up in August. That's going to be a great time, but it's always a great time at Janoski. So, again, 412-922-1020. This hour, we're dedicating it to simply your calls. So whatever on your mind, call us. Now would be a great time. Couple of open lines, 866-391-1020 for DougOster.com. All right, here's Joe in wild and wonderful West Virginia. Hey, Joe.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. I have about 10 huge boxwoods. They're about 7 feet high, and I'm concerned about this. I guess it's a beetle. I'm not sure what.
So
what it is.
there's a bunch of different things going on with boxwoods. There's boxwood blight. There's leaf miners. There's winter kill. How do they look?
Oh, they look beautiful. We've had so much rain and sunshine.
Then I wouldn't worry about it. I think you're doing good. What are your concerns that you've heard?
Well, I guess I must have misunderstood. I thought it was some kind of a beetle that was tearing them up.
No, it's boxwood blight is probably the most scary thing that's out there, but don't think about it. enjoy those beautiful plants because you're very lucky. And to tell you the truth, more often than not, it's winter kill that is really driving people nuts. Maybe you're far enough south that the climate isn't quite as cold during the winter, but what'll happen is things will warm up. That plant will be like, oh boy, this feels good, and then they'll send some water up into the leaves. They'll swell a little bit, and then it gets really, really cold. And then, boom, you get all these brown leaves, and you got to trim it and fertilize it. And so the fact that yours are doing so well, that's a good thing. And there's nothing you can do, really, to prevent the leaf miner, which is a leaf miner. It's not a big deal. The leaf miner is this little thing. It gets into the leaves, and it makes kind of like little trails in the leaf, but it's not going to kill the plant. The boxwood blight, again, there's nothing you could really do. If it hits your area, it hits your area, and then you're going to have to deal with it then. But until then, enjoy those plants. Don't sweat it. Don't worry about it, and everything will be fine.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for the information.
It's always nice to be able to tell somebody that okay, everything's going to be okay, instead of telling them oh, no, you've got this. That's the worst thing that could happen. So it's all good.
Can you still buy those soaker hoses?
Oh, yeah. Soaker hoses are a great thing.
Yeah, I know.
That's a great, you should.
Just leave it there.
You never have to roll it up, Rob.
I'm telling you.
Soaker hose is a great way to water. They have special, ones called drip irrigation, where it just slowly puts out drips of water, and you keep it down underneath the mulch. And it's a great way to water because you're not wasting the water by having it above. Again, I'm hoping that I'm going to get some rain today. Even though we've had a lot of rain, you could really never have enough. I don't think I've watered my containers more than twice. But again, if it stays hot like this and the rain misses you, stick your finger down into that container. If it's moist, don't worry about it. If it's dry, it needs water. But fertilization for sure. And that fertilizer that I love, they advertise on the show but I buy it like you buy it. And the reason they advertise on the show is because that's what I use. It's called Dramatic. So it's from the corporation called DRAM, D-R-A-M-M. So Dramatic with 2 M's. It's fish-based, and all those plants that I have in the greenhouse, I'm feeding with that Dramatic. And again, it smells like low tide for a couple of days, but that's okay. The other thing I did in the greenhouse is I still had 2 tomatoes in there from my, April 1st sowing, and they were in little pots, and they were drying out, and they're about 3 foot tall. I put them in big pots. I ran some string up to the top of the greenhouse, and I'm going to see what I can do there. We got a call there, Rob?
Yes, we do.
All right.
It's Donna in Beaver, sycamore tree for Doug Oster. Go ahead, Donna. Good morning.
Good morning. So I have about 30 acres out here, and I have my property timbered. Not all of it. I don't know. Maybe they got 50 trees. But along my driveway, which unfortunately trees come down, I have to get someone to help. But I'm not exaggerating. There must be 100 young sycamore trees that have come up along one side of the driveway, and it's the side where the water runs off because they like water, correct?
Yep.
And, Doug, I'm thinking I've got to get someone before these things get big. They're only about 6 inches in circumference on the trunk, but they need to come out, correct? I mean, I can't have 100 sycamores on the driveway.
Right. So you don't want to preserve them. You don't want to preserve them or anything. You just want them gone, right?
I guess so. I'd love for people to come dig them up and take them, share them, because I love the trees, but you can't have 100 on a driveway.
And that's probably not going to happen. People always want to do that, which is a nice thing to do. Like, hey, I've got these trees. You could have a little sycamore, but it usually doesn't work.
They die.
Well, no, they do fine, but usually people just don't come and they don't want it, and it's just a hassle. Do you really want people coming to your property and digging out these trees? What I would do is I would just weed whack them down. If you want to get rid of them, that's the best way, and they'll keep sprouting up here and there, but just keep after them. I mean, you only have 30 acres to take care of, so this is just one more job for you.
Well, these just happen to be right along the driveway, and I'm guessing because the water runs along that side. But what would have caused it? I've been here 7 years, and they just sprouted up the year after the place was timbered.
Well, it's probably all that, I'm assuming. I don't know what it looked like before, but I'm assuming there's more light there now because of the timbering. Is that right or wrong?
No, they didn't timber anything along the driveway. That's why it makes no sense to me at all. Where did
in that case, it's just a weather thing. It's just kind of one of those things that nature does. When the stars align, and especially this season with all the heat, with all the rain, whatever was there, whether it's sprouting from the roots or what is sprouting from seeds that have been thrown out there, something happened in nature where everything was perfect for it. And this happens all the time where you won't, like you said, you've been there forever. You've never seen it happen, but these things happen all the time. And something triggered this to happen. You could go out there like in another month, dig up each one of those little seedlings, put it in a little pot, and just leave them out on the road and say free sycamore trees. But are you going to do that for 100 trees?
Not 100, but I have friends out here that I think would want trees. But you know what's ironic, Doug? I grew up in Ingram, Crafton, Ingram area.
Mm-hmm.
And way back in the day, our street, it was a very old street in the neighborhood. Our street was lined with sycamores, both sides. And I just loved them. And then little by little, new people came in and cut them down because they were messy and they were too big, et cetera, et cetera. And they do get big.
Well, I have another sycamore story for you if you'll just indulge me for a second. When I worked at the Post-Gazette, I was working in the photo department, and it ended up that the first place that Gerald Ford came to visit after he pardoned President Nixon was Pittsburgh. And so I was tasked with looking through the library and finding pictures of this event. And I found some protesters protesting down at Point State Park. And I just happened to notice they had these very small sycamore trees that must have just been planted. Well, fast forward another 30-some years, and when they redid Point State Park, they cut down all those sycamore trees, which now were these beautiful specimens. And so it's just a wonderful tree. And if you're up for it, now I would wait until the weather breaks. I would wait until the end of August. And then you can dig out those plants when it's cooler, when the days are shorter. Get into September, dig out a few of those plants. If you do want to give them away, that'd be a great thing to do. Dig up the ones that you can pot up and keep them moist and give them to your friends. Give them to anybody who would want them. But then the other ones that you don't want to compete with your existing tree, those just get cut down to the ground.
Yeah. Good idea. Early Christmas gifts for people who appreciate beautiful trees.
Who wouldn't want a beautiful sycamore tree? And then the other thing about this is it's your sycamore tree. And so that tree will kind of be your legacy, which is kind of cool. When you give somebody a tree like that, they'll think 30 years, 40 years down the road, like, oh, that was a gift. So that's another nice thing too. I got a feeling you're gonna go out there and do all 100 trees and then start giving them away. Those will be your legacy trees.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Can I ask you one more question?
Sure, go ahead.
It's about my is it Japanese elm or Chinese elm? But it's an elm tree and I love it. It gets these bushy green.
I'll tell you what, I got to get to this break because I'm long overdue. So Donna, stay on the line. We'll come back. We'll answer your question on the other side. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
The KDKA Mobile News Fleet is driven by Jim Shorkey Kia, North Huntington and Wexford. JimShorkeyKia.com.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports is brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you a Pittsburgh tradition. O'Neill Cruz yesterday. Pirates shut out Arizona 2-0. 2 teams again today at PNC Park. First pitch 135. Paul Skeens gets the start. You can hear it on 93.7 The Fan. Tens of thousands of people will once again descend upon Cooperstown, New York. Today it's the Baseball Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And names like Sabathia, Suzuki, and Wagner headed for the Hall. And going in posthumously, Wampum, Pennsylvania native Dick Allen and former Pirate Dave Parker. The Steelers have inducted 3 players into their Hall of Honor. Quarterback Ben Roethlisberger, Marquise Pouncey, and linebacker Joey Porter. 2025 3M Open leaderboard. Akshay Pataya storms into a tie for the top spot with Thornburg Olesen. And Kurt Katayama stuns with a 60 in Minnesota. He's in a Group 1 shot off the pace. Your leaderboard, the tie is at 18 under for the top spot. And they're racing for the checkered flag later today at the historic Brickyard in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's the Brickyard 400 on the NASCAR circuit. More sports at 93.7thefan.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRIEND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Spring planting is in full swing. Hi, it's Randy Sorgel from Sorgels in Wexford. When making your choice for quality plants, friendly service, and family reputation, we hope you choose Sorgels. Remember, not only do you get all of that at Sorgels, we have the farm animals, the bakery, the deli, ice cream, the gift shop, home accents, baby apparel, Naturally Sorgel's gluten-free store, as well as Arsenal cider, and of course, there's Tiny Town. But if you are not able to get to Sorgel's, please pick a family-owned garden center close to you, like the other advertisers in this show. Families care about you and need your support, and they don't sell washing machines. So please, Thanks for your support to all of us and the other hardworking families in the gardening industry. Sorgles 724-935-2090.
Home title theft. It's on the rise, and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert. And that's bad news for home title thieves. So when's the last time you checked on the title to your home? Find out if you're already a victim with your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value free with sign up. Just go to HomeTitleLock.com and sign up in minutes. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, I want to get back to Donna here. Donna, second question. Start from the beginning, please.
Yes, it's a Chinese elm or a Japanese elm, I forget, but just about now it's coming up with these clusters of like clumps of little green packed leaves, and the honeybees love it. It's full of honeybees, and there are some dead branches, and I know Davey was out here, and I know not to dare cut any branches until they're dormant, but right. I was wondering, since they're dead anyway, can I cut those off?
I don't think so. I actually have like 7 trees that have to be cut down in my property, and they're oaks, so not elms, but still under the same kind of rules that we don't want to cut an oak during the growing season or an elm because we could be introducing the disease in there. I think even because when I looked up at mine, I asked my arborist from Davie, like, hey, while you're here, why don't you just cut that off because that's dead? And he's like, no, we're not touching any oaks that are still living because you would open that up to disease. So no, and I'm not an expert, but I believe that you should wait until we get into the dormant season. But what a cool tree, though, huh? That is really. Oh my. Explain to people what that tree looks like, because that is a real beauty, and it's rarely used in the landscape.
Right. Yeah, I was very fortunate that I didn't know much about it, but what I love about it is it doesn't flower, but it gets these baseball-sized, compacted green leaves. And the birds, of course, there's several birds' nests in there, but the bees love it. So when you drive up the driveway and just stop and listen, you can just hear this low hum, and it's just beautiful. And it's grown pretty fast. I'm hoping it doesn't get much bigger. So I'm going to have Davey come out again and have a look at it once it gets.
I do have a serious question for you before I let you go. How do you handle 30 acres to take care of? Does it take care of itself, or is there a lot of maintenance involved in that?
Pretty much. When I bought this, it's part of a farm. So there's 3 big pastures that have corn in it. The part I take care of is less than an acre.
Okay.
And the other part is a field. Most of it's field, and all the rest of it is wooded. I'd say I have more pasture than I have wooded.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, thank you so much for your call. Appreciate it. I hope we helped you out a little bit. That was nice to hear from Donna. Real quick before we finish up, my In Doug's Garden television show, which runs on KDKA's streaming site. This week, we visit the wonderful outdoor gardens of Phipps. I wanted to do this for a long time. We know Phipps certainly for their amazing indoor seasonal displays, but a lot of people miss some of the outdoor spaces. And so I went with one of the gardeners and highlighted the outdoor gardens at Phipps. I'm also showing off a surprise in my garden, which is cool, which you'll see if you watch it. It's on my YouTube channel. You might be interested in the seeds. I'm going to give the seeds away next year. And then Rob Crueljack from Davie explains what's going on with one of my maple trees. If you're having a fungal issue with your maple trees, you might want to watch this video. And then the guy who's working on my house, Joe, I used him for a garden question because he had a garden question for me. And his garden question was, with all this rain, with all this heat, why is my garden so slow? So I'm answering that question, and we've got 2 more episodes left of In Doug's Garden, and then we're done for the season. It's brought to you by the Davie Tree Expert Company, and we're having a lot of fun doing the show. I've got 2 really cool, very unique gardens that I'm going to be featuring in the last 2 episodes. So I hope you get a chance to go to the YouTube channel and take a look. Rob, good luck with your garden hose. Go buy a really good garden hose. Don't be a cheapskate like me.
By the way, services for the garden hose, 2 to 4, 7 to 9. And by the way, I'm sure Joe's going to get tomatoes for working on your house.
No, he's got his own garden. He's got his own garden.
I should have bushels of tomatoes for as much publicity as I've given the organic gardener. All right, take us home.
All right, remember, organic gardeners, you make our world brighter and safer with each seed you sow and every garden you grow.
Finger food, that's hoagies for me, and sandwiches. Coming up next with Frank Dentisi as we continue on a Sunday morning. Rob Taylor next with the news in 4 minutes at 8 a.m. Good morning.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Co-founder and president of Walnut Capital, brains behind Bakery Square and Beyond, Todd Reedford.
There's that expression, good things come to those who wait. But we're really excited about looking forward. This is really the largest underdeveloped piece of land on our AI Avenue. Really anybody, any size of company that wants to come to Pittsburgh, wants to be in the heart of the AI Avenue ecosystem, we're ready for it.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Larry Richard with Andy Amrine from EV True Value Hardware Store. Andy, we talked about Harmony Organic Insect Control for inside the home, but it's great in the garden.
Absolutely. An organic insect control that you can use on all your vegetables, flowers, plants. Amazing for controlling any of those fleas, ticks, ants, anything you want to keep out of your vegetables.
Non-toxic, too. Take advantage. Go to harmonyoic.com, available at participating True Value Hardware stores.
Lynn just loves the summers in Pittsburgh, but she hates the pain, so she called Rhino Shield.
It is a single-wide manufactured home. We moved from our home, which we had the Rhino Shield on. Rhino Shield was what we were going to do. That was no question. We knew we were going to do it.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating. It's not paint, it's better.
The Rhino Shield representative came, and we discussed what we wanted done. And this time, we had the roof done as well.
Formulated for our specific climate here in Indy and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty.
We truly believe in this product.
And right now you can get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 10% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield has partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer affordable monthly payments with 0% interest loans to qualified customers. Here's Rhino Shield Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Lunch was great. Lawrenceville is such a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall. If you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
If something happens to you, what happens to your family? Will they struggle financially? Will they be able to afford the home you built together? With Ethos, you can get life insurance coverage in minutes. Get up to $2 million in coverage for as little as $2 a day. All online with no medical exam. Just answer a few health questions. Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life. Rates may vary. Billed monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh, W261AX Pittsburgh.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 73 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 8 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. Happening now, a SWAT situation in Garfield. Let's get to KDKA Television's Jessica Riley.
Pittsburgh Zone 5 police, SWAT, as well as paramedics are still on the scene here, and we did just hear some type of flashbang a little bit ago, as well as sirens and stuff trying to call into the person who is in that home. But at this time, we do not have an update on the male that is in that home. We did just see Pittsburgh Police's press information officer show up to the scene, so we are working to learn more information as far as that man inside that home, and once we get that information, we will relay it over to you.
Stay with KDKA Radio for more on this developing story out of Garfield this morning. Also, a person is dead after shooting at a Ligonier police officer during a traffic stop. That incident happened Saturday evening along Route 30. Person is believed to have taken their own life following that traffic stop. No officers were injured. Westmoreland County detectives are investigating the incident. Well, a woman has died in a motorcycle crash from Saturday. It happened around 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon on Oneida Valley Road. That's in Washington Township, Butler County. The crash took place on the route for the 14th annual Riding for the Cure, which began from the American Legion Post 778 around 11 Saturday morning. A man also suffered severe injuries from the crash and is in a hospital. The name of the woman who died has not been released. A crash between a fire truck and a vehicle sent 7 people to the hospital. That crash happened in Wilkinsburg Saturday morning around 10:30 at Grand Boulevard and William Penn Highway. 4 firefighters were transported to the hospital in stable condition. 3 people from the vehicle were transported to the hospital as well. No word on their conditions. Well, Pennsylvania Congressman Mike Kelly's office in Hermitage, Mercer County, was vandalized early Saturday morning. The words written in red on the office windows and door read things like, quote, mental illness is not a crime, and, quote, GOP equals racism, rape, child rape, cover up, end quote. A statement for Congressman Kelly said no one was at the East State Street office in Hermitage when the vandalism took place. Congressman Kelly said in a statement that it's, quote, let's be clear, political violence and vandalism are never acceptable. U.S. Capitol Police are among the agencies investigating the incident. KDK Radio News Time are coming up on 8:03. The AccuWeather forecast next.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248 today.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today looks humid with clouds breaking for some sun. Watch for a couple of showers and a heavy thunderstorm into the early evening hours. Any storm may bring flash flooding and damaging wind with a high of 84. Then cloudy tonight with a low of 69, followed by partly sunny, hot and humid days for tomorrow and Tuesday with a high of 92 tomorrow, 94 Tuesday. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. This is the Coons Cooking Hour. The crew from Coons Market are here. It's the great food you grew up with and the recipes that make Pittsburgh someplace special.
So what do I have for breakfast when I'm here at the station? I always go to Coons Market to work throughout the week. I love the produce. Get some radishes, get some carrots, get some celery, a little bit of that Heinz mustard. I'm ready to rock and roll. That's the breakfast of champions. So he is here, and we are in the Metropolitan Window video screen where you can click on KDKRadio.com and click on KDK Watch and see us. Of course, the Odyssey app, AUDACY, the traditional way, KDK 100.1 FM, AM 1020, and our incredibly interesting and always entertaining and informative YouTube page. And today, my favorite, it's sandwiches. And I put it before finger foods because I think sandwiches are finger foods because you have to use your fingers and hands to eat them. But we begin by telling you someone who calls in with a recipe on the topic. You may be eligible to get that gift card, but you got to call in. So that's why you may be. If you call in, you are definitely eligible. And we'll draw a lucky winner at the end of the hour to see who gets it. But Frank, here's my question. What is finger food?
Yeah, anything you don't need utensils for. You know, if you're, like I always think of sandwiches, but fried chicken is the other one I always think of as a finger food. Or chicken tenders, chicken nuggets. You know, those are finger foods. I couldn't imagine you picking up a chicken nugget and cutting it with a fork and a knife and fork and eating it with a fork. That just doesn't happen. You just reach on in there, greasy fingers and all.
Who doesn't love?
Hopefully you're not too hungry and you don't bite your finger. And
I've done that. But McNuggets, who doesn't like McNuggets? Come on, Frank.
That's a phenomenon.
We got to talk about this. You had the greatest line. You're one of the funniest people I've ever met. I used to tell your dad that all the time. Best one-liners. So you got all excited because you saw Long John Silver's recently, and we have one in Rochester.
Well, I saw it a couple weeks ago. Yesterday we went to Long John.
Well, but here's the deal, and this cracked me up because I know people the exact same way, but you're such a good husband. You go inside because your wife likes all these sauces. And I love Long John Silver's. Listen, when I'm at the Goodwill store in Rochester, where I love to go, and we've got some exciting news we're going to be telling you about the old store, Moon Township, but okay, I'm just going to say it. Goodwill is going in there, so I'll be there quite a lot, spending a lot of money, but you get a lot for a little. Love it, love it, love it. But there's a little Long John Silver's right next to it, so you always hear the drive-through guy and the speaker, and they're talking slaw and the fish and the chicken and the hush puppies, and I'm just like, please, I want it so bad. I love Long John Silver's, but you said something that was just so priceless. You said, I never go through the drive-through. I said, why? Because I got to go inside. Your wife likes all these sauces.
She wants it custom. She wants her sauces. And then I'm the go-between. So they keep yelling. She's yelling one ear. They're trying to speak English through the, because you always get that one through that speaker. And you're trying to communicate back and forth. I said, yesterday I was like, we're going inside. It will take a little bit longer. That's fine. We'll be able to get everything we want.
But finger food, I mean, veggie trays could be finger foods, hors d'oeuvres, all sorts of little things on a cracker could be finger food. But these little sandwiches, I mean, with slider buns, I mean, that's kind of like finger food, isn't it?
Oh, slider buns, of course. And you can get all that. You can do, like you're making them at home, you get all different flavors. So you're buying, like for me, I'd be buying chicken salad, ham salad, a little bit of egg salad, some different lunch meats, some different cheeses, and mix it up. You can make different varieties. Or you didn't do the... You can take a real easy way. You buy the King's Hawaiian rolls or a sheet of the 12 a dozen dinner rolls. You slice the whole thing. You make your sandwich on there like you're making yourself a big sandwich. And then if you're not too greedy, you cut them down into the 12 little sandwiches. I don't suggest eating the whole thing yourself. And cut it into those 12 sandwiches, and makes it easy making them, because making all those little sandwiches gets to be cumbersome. But you make it all one sheet and zoom, cut it right in half. Or the other thing, you like a big giant hoagie, or you have let's say you have a party coming over. Get some of our Coons Italian bread, that nice big thick loaf.
Right.
Slice that in half and just make a big sandwich. You can load that up with lunch meat. Then get your nice vegetables on there. Get some nice leaf lettuce. Get some nice fresh sliced tomatoes, especially you got things coming out of the garden. So I like banana pepper rings on it. Give it a little bit of extra kick. Slice that down for people. You got a nice picnic item as well.
So when the pandemic was underway and I was spending a lot of time at home, a lot of time working, a lot of time eating, I'm just going to be honest with you about something. I used to get the Coons Italian crusty bread, and I'd get Jif peanut butter and Smucker's jelly, and I would make these humongous peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Every now and then, throw it in the oven and heat it up a little bit.
Frank, you've never lived until you've had PB&J on Italian bread from Coons Market. I never thought about heating it up, but it adds to the crunch factor.
Just adds that little bit, just enough heat to get that little bit of extra flavor out of the bread, quite honestly.
Listen, Salonis, I love Salonis. I could live on Salonis. Why is it that bread just works with everything? I mean, think about it. Even though you got to watch, I understand. But Salonis, all the different things. You can even get Salonis pizza shells to make your pizza. But why is bread just, it works. It's so universal.
Oh, yeah, it's the ultimate hand wrapper, ultimate, sandwich way to make a sandwich and make it handheld, the bread. And then there's all different types of bread. So if I'm going to make a hamburger, I'm not going to put on a crusty bread because I'm going to bite in and the burger is going to go everywhere. You have to put on a softer bun, or a Kaiser roll, which a little bit more can stand up to the juice a little more. If you're going to make a nice, usually people with peanut butter and jelly are doing it on white bread.
I know.
Or wheat bread. Normally.
Normal
I didn't
people.
say normal people.
Yeah,
normally.
You were right.
You
were right the first time. Normal
people are going to make it like that. I grew up at peanut butter and jelly when I went, whenever I had to eat lunch. I was spoiled at home with food, so we always had these great
meals every night.
And so then when you go into the school, you feel disappointed for lunch. So if you didn't pack, you get lunch. So I always ate the peanut butter and jelly, and they used to take the peanut butter and jelly, the peanut butter on white bread, scoop almost like an ice cream scoop, a jelly in the center, and they'd wrap it in that wax paper,
right?
And I'd get peanut butter and jelly. Or sometimes I got nachos. Because I don't know what they did to their tacos, but they weren't tacos. That ground meat was not meat. There's no way. My dog enjoyed the same flavor out of his can. So I wouldn't get that kind
cafeteria
of stuff.
food.
You're hit and miss on cafeteria. Now, I went to Catholic school where the parents would fill in for the cafeteria was all parents. And, usually one lead cook, but then the parents would fill in and volunteer. And then you got some really good food because you had all these moms in the kitchen. My mom would go now and then too, but once you got into then when I got to high school, they ended up the school didn't even run it. They had an outside company run it, and it wasn't bad.
We were so spoiled, but I always liked cafeteria food. Now listen,
but finger food, you can even go as far as pizza because I'm not eating that with a knife and fork, and you just enjoy it.
All right, your favorite finger food or sandwiches, and I have a list of some of the top 10 sandwiches. We'll get your thoughts, your spin, but I highly urge you to get on the line now. Load them up. Favorite finger food, what do you consider finger food, your favorite sandwich, and we are going to give you a chance to win a $25 gift certificate, but you got to call in with a recipe, 866-391-1020. All right, a couple of things that are happening at Coons Market. Let's talk about right now, as your dad would say, Northwest cherries are at their peak. You'll not find a better cherry anywhere. They are $1.88 a pound with that Coons reward card. Boneless, skinless chicken breast or breast tenders, $2.99 a pound with that Coons reward card. Save big with hot deals and that Coons reward card. Talk about the Coons reward card, why people need to get it, never leave home without it, and then we'll go to break. Frank.
Yeah, you get the special items. We always have items right on the front page. There's big lead items. There's 3 items there that are, just hot deals, and you're not going to get that without the card. But in addition to that, if you go on to coonsmarket.com, you can sign up for our rewards card / the e-coupons. So the e-coupons, you go onto that site, you log in, and you can pick your coupons. Once you pick your coupons, once you buy those items that they have the coupons, they automatically come off your receipt. So it's another way to save with, that we're able to find another avenue from manufacturers because they've cut back on the print coupons, but they've done them on digital. If you go on the front of our website, on our website, on the front of our ads, our paper ads and the digital ads, there's a QR code. You scan that with the camera of your phone. You can download and put the link right onto your phone on your page, and it opens up. That's our app, and you can use the app to do your online shopping. You can do the app to go look at the ad, and you can also get some of those digital coupons right from that app while you're shopping in the store, so you can see what that you've actually clipped while you're shopping in the store. We have guest access for our Wi-Fi in all stores. You can log into that, and that way you get connection through the whole store.
Yeah, absolutely love what you guys are doing at Coons Market. Good to be a part of it. All right, I'm going to throw this out as we go to break, because I've often heard about this type of sandwich, but I never knew what the ingredients were, so I did a little deep dive last night while at home preparing for today's show. So does anybody in the audience know what a po' boy, P-O-B-O-Y sandwich is, and what is found on that sandwich? And I want you to get at least 3 out of the, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 things that go on it. So at least 3 out of the 6. P-O-B-O-Y sandwich, and maybe its origins. First person, give me a call. I want to know who knows that. Plus, again, finger food, favorite sandwiches. Want to hear from you. Someone's going to get a $25 gift certificate. 866-391-1020. We'll be back.
Your source for everything that's news. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
The Blues are back and bigger than ever. The Kip London Memorial Pittsburgh Blues and Roots Festival hits the stage July 25th to the 27th at the Pittsburgh Shrine Center Pavilion in Cheswick. Honor the legacy of local blues legends Kip London and Mike Lang with acts like the Nighthawks, the Jason Bourne Band, and Jim Donovan and the Sun King Warriors. All proceeds benefit Band Together Pittsburgh and Autism Pittsburgh, using music to empower lives. Don't miss the celebration of soul, sound, and community. Get tickets now at pghbluesfestival.com.
Your bathroom's got to go, the vanity's decayed, and toilet's really old. The bathtub's giving way. If Baths R Us a ring, call morning, noon, or night. You do not have to wait to get your bathroom right.
Call Baths R Us for your free estimate and enter to win our Christmas in July $12,500 bathroom remodel with an additional savings of up to $3,000 plus low to no monthly payments. 412-556-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify. You need parts? O'Reilly has parts. Get 1 free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, phones are loaded up. That's what I like to see. So let's get going. We're going to say hi to Rasheem and McKee's Rocks on KDKA. How are you?
Hi, Rob. This is Ramesh.
Where have you been? Where have you been? I miss you.
Traveling.
Well, I'm glad to have you back.
You did not yet seen my latest videos or anything upload, but it's coming soon. Okay, anyway. I'm trying to call. Thank you for taking my call, Frank and Rob. I've got a recipe made of cream of wheat. Very simple. Make less than 5 minutes. Just dip it in water. Let it soak. Add whatever spices you want: oregano, parsley, salt, lemon, chili powder, anything. Let the water get absorbed. Let it settle down, and then boom, put your index finger. It may be hot. I'm warning you. It may be hot. But once you start taking it one finger at a time, it's like an addiction. You can make the same thing with rice flour or even wheat flour, even millet flour. Once you make it, you can make it with any flour. Just try. I guarantee you, it is a non-stop addition into your regular schedule. I thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it and enjoy your time.
Thank you.
All right, Ramesh. Good to have you.
Flavor that.
Good to have you back. So, cream of wheat and then what? I kind of
He's
lost
eating it with his fingers.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hear that's another thing, and I thought that's what he said. But I was telling you about social media. All of a sudden, there's all these great cultural dishes that people are basically eating with their fingers.
Yeah, different cultures, that is how they enjoy it. Of course, you have to let it cool down a little bit. You know, 1/3 degree burns on your hand, and trying to eat just because you want to eat with your fingers. Let it cool down. But yeah, you season cream of wheat white cut right, and it's going to have some nice flavorings you can put in there because it's going to accept it. And yeah, it's almost like a dip. You know, it kind of reminds me back in the day. You find some sauce sitting in the refrigerator, and it's set up a little bit, and it's got that meat sauce, and you
couple of sausages or meatballs.
Next thing you know, you
over.
scoop some up with your finger, and they're like, "Oh no, they're going to see that," and you have to flatten it back out a little bit, make sure no one notices.
But I've been seeing a lot of those videos of families gathering, putting like one big, pot on the table, couple of plates, and they basically they're. I wonder if that's what he was talking about. Because it's kind of like a mush side that they have that they use as like dipping as we would
And I
bread.
forget the name of it, but Hawaii was popular for one of those dishes.
Poi?
Poi. That's it. That's how they eat it.
Man, I'm
Which
so
I've
glad.
never had. I don't eat cream of wheat. My wife likes cream of wheat. I never
Listen,
really got into it.
This is how lonely my life is, and I'm so glad he called. I missed him. He's such a guy full of life, and he
must have been on one long trip. It's been probably 6 months.
Highly intelligent, just really full of a lot
He's
of joy.
living the life.
A lot of joy, a lot of energy. I really like Ramesh a lot. But anyway, so I watch these, and I'm saying to myself, you're all alone in your house. It's like midnight. You're tired. You're like, I just wish I could sit down at the table with those people, because they all sit down as a family, and they put but it's like fried eggs, like neck bones, sauce of some kind, and then they have that side, which is probably what he was talking about. And they use it because what it does, it adds flavor, but it also protects your fingers from the scalding hot food. and you sop it up like you would biscuits and gravy.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
That sounds good.
I've often wondered about that, and now I know. All right, here's Dennis. Dennis, you're up next on KDK. How are you, Dennis?
I'm doing well, guys. Very quick, simple sandwich, but it's delicious. I use Nova Lux smoked salmon. You toast an onion bagel medium. You put that smoked salmon on the bagel with a slice of good sweet onion and a touch of cream cheese, and it's a quick 5-minute sandwich. It's different but lovely.
Oh, that's my favorite with salmon. Yeah.
Is it? Right.
Oh, that's my favorite. It pairs with cream cheese so well, and a nice toasted bagel. That's my favorite. I take the Asiago bagel now, and that's how I.
It was National Bagel Day the other day.
Yeah.
Dennis, good stuff. Appreciate you.
And refreshing, and really not bad for you. You get some extra protein. I've been trying to I'm working with nutritionists and getting more protein. You cut back some certain foods, and then you can't. All of a sudden, I can't get enough protein through the day. Like what they're telling me eating protein, it's like I can't get there.
Well, listen, I know you love your salmon. You've always loved your salmon.
Oh, smoked salmon.
I know.
They say smoked, but no, like lox. It's not really smoked. It's cured, and they cure it in salt. It's just fantastic. Where I got the love of that? My parents went to Ireland, and they
salmon in Ireland.
They have Scottish salmon, so they had it shipped back. The Scottish salmon because my dad liked it so much there, and they brought one fillet for us and one fillet for my uncle and my nana to enjoy, and just slice it real thin, and it's just out of this world, and it's just the way the process they do of curing it and whatever they're marinating it to get to there. But ever since then, if I see that on it, usually you'll see it on breakfast buffets,
right?
And I enjoy it. It's more of a Jewish. They go with the lox there, and that's where it really comes into play with the lox with the bagels. But outstanding, and it's not raw; it's fully cooked. You're not going to get hurt from it. You're not going to get sick. If you're really worried, but it's raw and it has a different texture, squeeze some lemon on it. It actually firms up. And if there is any bacteria that would be on it, it kills it off.
All right, so I'm going to spill my guts. You're not a priest, but let's just pretend it's confession. But I love bagels, okay?
Yeah.
Listen, bagels are my favorite thing on the planet. And I put everything. I mean, I make bagel sandwiches constantly. I could live off of bagels. So one time during the pandemic when I was just, winging it, listen, my only favorite fish, the only way, I love the fried fish from Coombs Market. The haddocks fish, that's my favorite. So I got these couple of, I thought the buns were in them at Hopewell, but they weren't, okay? The hoagie bun wasn't in there. So I get home and I got these 2 big slabs of that fried fish. So I had some Philadelphia cream cheese. You're going to love it. Cut it in half. I made a bagel fish sandwich.
There you go. Did you put cream cheese on it too?
It was great.
That would be good.
Listen,
a little bit of cocktail sauce, believe it or not, would pair well with that cream cheese.
Listen, that's my kosher Fisher's fish sandwich. Oh my goodness, that was great. It was great.
Yeah, the chew factor of those bagels.
Oh, and the fish, it's just, it's my favorite. And I love it cold too.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm telling you, try that. Get some of that fried fish at Coombs Market. Get a rack of bagels.
I'm just going to tell you, just be honest. It's going to take 2.5 bagels.
Yeah. Well, you got to cut it in half, or you can do it. You can do it like how they have the double mac and.
It's usually not a problem because you end up eating the ends anyway before it even makes it to that sandwich.
Well, it's kind of like the double Big Mac, but it's a double fish sandwich. All right, listen, we got to get to a break, so everybody on the line, stay where you're at. And listen, if we get different answers with Po' Boy, or we get somebody who has the ingredients, don't hang up, because there's variations of it. And I just thought it'd be kind of a cool way, because we're talking a little bit of seafood today, and I kind of gave you a hint. But I've been hearing about po' boys forever. My mom and dad used to make them. They loved them. So I did some research because it was kind of going through my mind getting ready for today's show. And I wanted to know what was in a po' boy, P-O-B-O-Y. So I want you to tell me what they are. And there's at least 6 ingredients. You got to give me at least 3. And everybody has different variations. So please do that, okay? Now, before we move on, I want to remind everyone that we are located Coombs Market, McKnight Road, Hopewell, Ingomar, Banksville Road, Beulah Road, Bellevue, Highway Street, and Ferguson Road. Coming up today on the Coombs Market Black and Gold Sunday Show, listen to this show. Nobody has a better sports show going this weekend than we do. 11 o'clock, right after the local news with Rob, Ray Fittipaldo of the Post-Gazette. He's at Steeler training camp. The 3 going into their Hall of Honor. Ben, Mr. Pouncey, and Mr. Porter. We're going to talk about them, look back at their career, obviously talk about Aaron Rodgers early on, the Arthur Smith playbook. And then today in Cooperstown, it's the Pro Baseball Hall of Fame, Sabathia, Suzuki, and Wagner going in, but also posthumously Dave Parker, Arbucco, and from nearby Wampum, Dick Allen. John Parado of Pittsburgh Baseball Now, best baseball writer in America, I believe, will join us at 11:30. And then the National Italian Sports Hall of Fame, something that I was there and actually welcomed his father, meaning Joe Dentisi, to be enshrined. My friend Doc Pat DeMeo and many others, started by Dan Marino Sr. back in 1986. Tony Ferraro and company run this thing now. It's going to be at the beautiful Lamont, August the 5th. A good friend, he is Tommy Yankella, world-class boxing. He has trained such fighters as Roy Jones Jr. and Paul Spatafor. We're going to have him drop by right after the new news today. Plus, all sorts of other things to get to as well. But in the meantime, it's all about finger food and sandwiches. Give us a call, 866-391-1020. We do have a line available. Before the hour is up, someone's going to take home a $25 gift certificate from Coombs Market, a Pittsburgh tradition. Rob Taylor next with the news at 8:30, and then right back to your calls on the Coombs Cooking Hour on KDKA. Good morning.
The biggest reason Metropolitan Window Company has been in business since 1978 is our huge list of satisfied customers.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you're getting expertise and attention to detail from a trusted business that puts your needs first.
You're also getting our exclusive Infinity from Marvin 100% fiberglass windows that are built for life.
The most important part of a window is the framing. Fiberglass frames won't lose their dimensional integrity. They're the strongest, longest-lasting window you can buy.
And right now, you can save 30% and get 18-month no-interest financing on every window and door product we offer.
Stop by one of our showrooms, visit us at metropolitanwindows.com, or give us a call at 412-655-8411.
PA 1565.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
7 races, 7 dogs, and KDKA Radio. Colin Dunlap takes his show on the road in support of the Wiener 100 race at EQT Park as part of the Bark in the Park night on August 19th before the Wild Things game. Find out if your wiener dog is eligible to race by clicking on the events page at KDKARadio.com. Hot dogs, baseball, the Wiener 100 race, and Colin Dunlap. Only on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 72 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 8:30. I'm Rob Taylor. A woman has died in a motorcycle crash Saturday afternoon. That crash happened around 1 o'clock on Oneida Valley Road in Washington Township, Butler County. Crash took place on a route for the 14th annual Riding for the Cure, which began from the American Legion Post 778 around 11 o'clock Saturday morning. A man also suffered severe injuries from the crash and is in the hospital. The name of the woman who died has yet to be released. A person is dead after shooting at a Ligonier police officer during a traffic stop. The incident happened on Saturday evening along Route 30. The person is believed to have taken their own life following that traffic stop. No officers were injured. Westmoreland County detectives are investigating the incident. Pittsburgh police continue to search for a missing 15-year-old boy. Timothy Powell was reported missing after leaving a local hospital in the 3800 block of O'Hara Street Saturday morning. Powell is known to have mental health challenges and may be drawn to areas with water. Powell also is reported to be fearful of law enforcement, which could affect how he responds if approached. Powell is 5'7", 130 pounds, blue eyes, blonde hair. Last seen wearing a gray T-shirt, blue jeans, and shower shoes. If you know his whereabouts, call 911. Pennsylvania Congressman Mike Kelly's office in Hermitage, Mercer County was vandalized early Saturday morning. The words written in red on the office windows and door read things like, quote, mental illness is not a crime, along with other statements. Now, a statement from Congressman Kelly's office said no one was at that East State Street office in Hermitage when the vandalism took place. Congressman Kelly said in a statement that, quote, let's be clear, political violence and vandalism are never acceptable. U.S. Capitol Police are among the agencies investigating the incident. Close to a dozen people are recovering after a suspect went on a stabbing spree at a Michigan Walmart. Here's Allie Baxter of WWMT Television.
A Grand Traverse Sheriff deputy was on scene within 3 minutes. Sheriff Mike Shea also confirmed there was help from a citizen inside Walmart to get the suspect into custody.
The suspect is a 42-year-old male. We believe he acted alone at this time.
Acted alone, and according to the sheriff's office, he used a folding knife to injure the 11 victims. The sheriff says 6 men and 5 women were stabbed.
KDK Radio News Time, 8:32. AccuWeather forecast on the way.
Have you been told there is nothing that can be done for your neuropathy? Tri-State Neuropathy Centers is pleased to tell you that's not true. As one of the largest and most successful neuropathy treatment practices in the country, Tri-State Neuropathy Centers has grown to 9 regional centers and helped over 14,000 patients, like Debbie from Venus. Debbie's neuropathy was stealing her mobility to the point she started looking for a wheelchair. Then Debbie found Tri-State Neuropathy Centers. Their effective FDA-approved treatment program changed her life. Her neuropathy symptoms are all gone, and she can walk her dogs and exercise again. Listen to more of her story at marydancedin.com. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers helped Debbie, along with thousands of others. Let them help you next. Call 724-940-9000. That's 724-940-9000. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers, the leader in treating peripheral neuropathy.
Home title theft. It's on the rise, and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert, and that's bad news for home title thieves. So when's the last time you checked on the title to your home? Find out if you're already a victim with your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value free with sign up. Just go to HomeTitleLock.com and sign up in minutes. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Clouds will give way to some sun at times today. It stays humid with showers and a heavy thunderstorm lasting into the early evening. Any storm may bring damaging wind with a high of 84, then cloudy tonight, low 69, followed by twin hot, humid, and partly sunny days tomorrow and Tuesday with a high of 92 tomorrow, 94 Tuesday. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, here's Angela, Mount Washington on the Coons Cooking Hour. Hey, Angela.
Hi, good memories of being in Los Angeles, New Orleans. Crawfish sandwich. Well, anyway, poor boy sandwich. They put crawfish in there, which we would say crayfish here. Also, could be shrimp or other seafood. It's on French bread. You can put mayonnaise on it, lettuce, tomato, that kind of stuff.
You're like spot on. We're going to get some more people in the variations. Now, I don't have crawfish listed here. Have you had one?
Oh, yeah, it goes on there.
Have you had one?
Oh, yes.
Is it good?
It was wonderful.
Wow. That's a lot of seafood.
No, but it's good.
Nobody else would eat one.
Well, they don't put all those
they
on
were
there.
They were all waiting for me to take a bite. They're like, "Is this good?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's good."
So Frank just said something. The way I'm reading it, they put multiple different, or is it just one of the items that you mentioned?
Well, yeah, you can put multiple things, but I know the original ones I think had crayfish on them.
Yep.
But you can put shrimp or other fish or, like I said, lettuce, tomato, pickles, mayonnaise, French bread.
It's got to be French bread, French Quarter. Makes sense.
Yeah, well, you want that crusty roll. It's not a soft roll like a lobster roll. It's more of a crusty roll.
Yeah, it was soft.
And I've had the...
It was French.
Yeah, nice French bread would be perfect for it. I've had a shrimp po' boy before, which was delicious.
Yeah, you could put shrimp in there, too.
The mayonnaise, I
remember when they said crawfish, I wasn't sure if I'd... Oh, yeah, it was really good.
Crawfish is good. You don't see it up here, but I think because South, you go into the humid areas, I think they're just almost like a pest almost. They're everywhere.
Are crawfish their, I guess, idea of what
sort of like eating crab meat or
it's like
whatever.
freshwater.
Like wings.
It's like freshwater lobster. Yeah, they eat them like wings.
That's what I was trying to get
They'll
at.
have a crawfish boil where they'll just dump them on the table and you just go crazy.
All right, here's Rhonda. Let's see what she has to say about po' boys. Go ahead, Rhonda.
Yes, good morning. Yes, I love po' boy sandwiches, and the one they do make them with French bread, and then they smear the remoulade sauce on them, and it's really good. And I've had it with either the shrimp. Sometimes I get it with scallops. I don't get it with both at the same time, but shrimp. I've had it with shrimp, and I've had it with scallop, and you can also have lettuce on it if you would like. But they are fantastic.
That's kind of neat.
I haven't seen it with scallops, but I bet that'd be delicious. And that
Oh,
remoulade,
yeah,
I like the remoulade sauce. It's more that.
Too.
Yeah, that remoulade sauces are good.
No, where'd you have it at, Rhonda?
I had them. I get them from Woolies.
Ooh.
Yes, I get them from Woolies, and I think you can even get them with oysters if you want.
All right, Mr. McNally down there at Woolies. Now hear this. I will stop by. I just want to see what they look like.
Oh, they're very good, and that remoulade sauce really gives it the added touch.
Do they smash them down so all that stuff can fit? Do they, put them in a sandwich?
Oh yeah, you get quite a lot of shrimp or quite a lot of scallop, whatever you want, one or the other. Like I said, I've never had them with both at one time, but yes, then they smash it together, and it's very good.
Hey, good stuff.
Delicious.
And I should have realized Woolies. I mean, where else are you going to go?
Yeah. You load up.
But you know what else they have?
To try.
On the one that I have, they have oysters, catfish, and shrimp. Catfish is, I remember your dad and I talking about this. That's becoming a really delicacy.
Oh, it's been, especially the ones we raise here in the United States are usually the best flavor, and you can trust it because, we oversee our fisheries, making sure they're not pumped full of water or the way they're raised. It's usually a farmed catfish, but it's actually watched over, there's an oversight. And, you get a nice USA catfish. What we sell, our fresh catfish is all USA. And delicious. A nice cornbread, breading or batter on the outside. So it gets a crispiness to it. It is a stronger flavored fish, which is why the cornbread actually adds a little bit of, just a touch of sweetness into there. Plus you can add some spice along with it to even it out. But, catfish it really is a healthier fish for you. Those good oils that are in the fish. It's an oily fish, and those good oils are they're good for the body. They're good for nutrition.
Back in Beaver County, they haven't done it for a couple of years, but they'd always have this catfish fishing contest.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if they ever decide to remake Jaws like 4 or 5 and they can't get Jaws. Have you ever seen the size of some of these catfish they're taking out of the Ohio River?
I've watched before, and I think they call it noodling, where they go and it's down in the swamp
with
where
the
they
hand.
actually reach their hand in and just get bit, basically, and pull it out.
Listen, those people are doing more.
When you go down the river, you're going to get some big catfish out of there.
I'm talking 40 pounds.
Yeah, they're big. I had a catfish at our old house. We had a pond, and I had a catfish in there, a channel catfish. It was white. And then once it got bigger, I started having less koi, and he was eating my fish. In the winter, it was hungry. I guess it started eating the small ones. So he had to he got relocated. He wasn't allowed back in the pond.
Yeah, to that.
But it got big fast.
He got relocated to that little community called Frying Pan.
Yeah, but it had a mouth that was huge.
So did they eat anything?
They eat anything. They're bottom feeders, so they're cleaning up whatever's on the bottom, which is why I had it. Because it keeps your pond in balance. They eat a lot of the algae and the waste of the other fish, quite honestly, and it just keeps it all nice and clean. But then once they get too big, that mouth gets big enough, then they start realizing, there's fish around me, and they start gobbling up all those other fish too.
Hey, how about this? Susquehanna River, Lancaster County, 2023, according to the Erie Times. Michael Worley caught a 66-pound, 6-ounce flathead catfish.
Yeah. If you go on the PA site,
66 pounds.
They keep track of all those sizes. People turn them in at the size that fish was. They caught with a picture,
Oh.
And 66 pounds. Could you imagine pulling that out?
Cat in the hat. I mean, that's a big fish.
I mean, yeah, you can break your line, but you can break your net trying to get it up out of there too.
But here's what I want to know.
And they're deep, they're down in the mud, too.
Here's what I want to know. How much did that 66-pound, 0.6-ounce catfish eat to get that big?
Anything I could get.
He cleaned out the neighborhood.
But they grow fast. They do. They grow faster than the other fish.
All right, listen, let's get a break in here. We'll come back. Hey, Brian Irwin wants to talk hot dogs. We've got John in Washington wants to talk eggs. And hey, there's Diane in Valencia wants to talk sandwich. So it's finger food and sandwiches. So you've had a po' boy?
Yeah, shrimp po' boy. Weird. I came back from New Orleans just this year, but I didn't have any po' boys down there. I was too addicted to the oysters. But the po' boy's good.
You know what we should do? a little suggestion. We'll talk to the CEO when she gets back from vacation, Jody Zima. We should do like a little miniature po' boy for Lent. Just try to see if it takes off. You know, I'm telling you, I did some deep dive on this. I can't believe how many people have something to say about po' boys. They love them.
I'll have to get my guy Clint back together. We'll put a little video on how to make it.
Don't just see if do some slider sandwich po' boys.
Throw it out there.
Just see if it goes. You know, Get your pierogies, get your hulushki, get your fish sandwich.
Well, yeah, we're always looking for something a little bit different too. The fish is great. Not everybody wants a fish every single week, or sometimes you're looking for something smaller.
Listen.
This time we're working on some smaller pieces of fish. You know, we're like 2 ounce, almost like fish sticks, but putting them on a little bun to give to people that don't want all that fish, but they want fish, and making something a little bit smaller. So we are working on that right as we speak. Actually, it's one of those being tested, and it wouldn't be a bad idea with the shrimp po' boy. We do a lot of fried shrimp. Our fried shrimp sells like crazy out of the hot foods, and that maybe we tie that into a po' boy. Just rip that tail off and put it onto a po' boy.
Don't throw it out. Now listen.
No.
I could. I'm telling you, Frank. Back in the day, I could slam 2 of those fish sandwiches. And I'll tell you what's really good sometimes. It's just to put it on the plate, little ketchup, maybe a little side of something. Those fish sandwiches, that's still my favorite.
Just keep it down to one fish sandwich because we have the beautiful mac and cheese right there. We have a great white cheddar mac and cheese. We go through a lot of too.
Those fish sandwiches melt in your mouth. No one even comes close. All right, short break. We'll come back. We got Diane coming up, John coming up. Want to hear from you. It's all about finger food and fish sandwiches. Next hour, Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service. More storms on the way, what you need to know to prevent something serious from happening. But more importantly, what you need any question answered in the way of tree-related issues, you're going to be able to phone in and talk to the experts. So get ready. Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service, 20 minutes from right now, Sunday morning, Pratt Pack, KDKA.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The popularity of cremation is on the rise. Unfortunately, so is the cost. I'm Dustin D'Alessandro, Supervisor and Funeral Director. To keep the cost down, the Thomas M. Smith Funeral Home and Crematory Limited in Blawnox and the D'Alessandro Funeral Home and Crematory Limited in Lawrenceville have on-site crematories. By performing the cremation on-site without losing custody of the remains, our funeral homes can defray those costs and pass the savings on to you. Our fee for a direct cremation is only $1,250. This low-cost, direct cremation offer is available to all residents of Allegheny County. Surrounding counties will incur a slight additional fee based on mileage. Contact us with questions or to schedule an appointment by calling the Blawnox office at 412-828-5700 or our Lawrenceville office at 412-682-6500. Our websites are thomasmsmithfuneralhome.com and DeLisandroLTD.com.
35% of crash deaths in Pennsylvania involve drivers under the influence. Drunk, high, buzzed, wasted. Whatever you are, don't become a statistic. Make a plan to get home safe. Designate a driver, ride share, or stay the night. Be safe, PA. Visit pendot.pa.gov/safety for more. Substance use disorder treatment is available. Call 1-800-662-HELP or find a treatment facility at treatmentatlas.org. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Home title theft. It's on the rise and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert. And that's bad news for home title thieves. So when's the last time you checked on the title to your home? Find out if you're already a victim with your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value free with sign up. Just go to HomeTitleLock.com and sign up in minutes. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, let's get right back to work. Say hi to John. John wants to talk about the incredible edible egg. Go ahead, John. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. What we're talking about here are tapas foods all over the Mediterranean, all over the world. Tapas is Spanish for finger food. You got French or hors d'oeuvres, and meze in Greek and Turkey. But anyway, these are deviled eggs, basically. Hard-boiled eggs, cut them lengthwise after you take the skin off. Carefully remove the egg yolk and put it in a blender. And you can either use anchovy, which I like, or you can use tuna to stuff the eggs. And what you do is you add some cheese to it, olive oil, a little bit of lemon juice, crushed garlic clove, and mix those up and refill your eggs that have been cut in half lengthwise. Put the mixture back in, top it with some paprika, whatever you like, and put the pitted green olives and pitted black olives on top. Chill those for about an hour in the refrigerator, and you have your perfect tapas food. Finger food, if you will. That's what it is.
Good stuff, Johnny.
Either.
They don't last long.
That definitely won't last long, especially making them a little different with the tuna and some different toppings gives it a different taste of what you usually see with your deviled eggs.
So, Johnny, how you doing? How you feeling? You doing okay?
Coming okay. Yeah. Believe me, this food will disappear quickly from the plates.
Sounds good. Hey, we think about you. Keep it going, okay?
I will. Thank you.
All right, John. Let's go to Diane Valencia. Diane, you're on the Coons Cooking Hour. What do you got to amaze us today? Hello, Diane.
Hello. Sorry, we keep losing connection there, so if
we're good.
I'm not sure what's happening, I apologize. No, my sandwich recipe this week is sort of like basically, dressing up the bun. So my son just discovered his new favorite this week, where I had some sourdough buns left over from some burgers, slice them in half, take your garlic powder and sprinkle it on it. Now, if you can let those buns stale up a little bit to open up the pores, that's all the better. Take your soft butter, smear it on it, add a little bit more garlic powder, even granulated garlic on top of it. Put it in your boiler, your oven, or toaster oven. Toast that till that garlic powder starts to sort of caramelize. It gets a little brown and golden, and pull that out. And then you take your Coons rotisserie chicken, chop that up, mix it in with a little bit of barbecue sauce. You can also do that with, you have some great pork pieces on sale this week. Cook those up. You have a meal, but take some of the extra, mix that in with barbecue sauce. Stack that on the bun. Put a nice piece of thick bacon, a thick slice of cheddar cheese, the bun together, wrap it in saran wrap, and that way when you go to heat it in the microwave for your lunch, you don't have a soggy sandwich, but you have all those wonderful flavors just marrying together. And he loved it. Have it with some crispy chips, some celery stick, and cucumbers. It's a great lunch.
No, it sounds great as well. It's simple to make and all that. So, yeah, delicious.
All right, Diane, we appreciate you. Obviously, a little bit of a, technical issue. Maybe it's on your end. You sounded loud and clear, though. We always love hearing from you. And hopefully, you'll be able to get it cleared up and give us a call next week. As much as I love modern technology, when these phones, that's just so frustrating.
Oh, it gets frustrating. You're like, why can't we just go back to what we used to do?
Yeah, man.
You picked up the phone, it just worked, and whether the power went out or nothing ever brought the phone lines down, and they just worked.
You know what I remember the most? You'd have the one in the kitchen with that line. It would be like 1,000,000 miles long, and people would be jumping over it, getting tangled up in it, lifting it up to duck their head underneath to get a drink of water.
Eventually we went to cordless, but then we could never find the phone.
Here's the other thing. I was telling the audience earlier, and it was like your dad channeling me. I bought this cheap hose just because I had to do some work at a store. But it was a really good bargain, and I'm a bargain hunter now. But trying to get it rolled up again after I used it was like a nightmare. It was like one of them nature wildlife films. I was like, battling a bull.
You got an anaconda trying to get it to straighten out.
And your dad, God rest his soul, got a hose from Sears like 20 years ago. And he came in one day and he said, hey, man, I went and got my new hose. I go, oh, what'd you pay for it? He goes, nothing. I had a lifetime guarantee. And it finally went back. But he took it back. But anyway, I was just thinking about being outdoors and all the things and what people are doing right now in their gardens and, all the vegetables and things. It's just, this is an incredible, incredible business that you all are in. And I just love hearing about all of these things. But I was also thinking about the kitchen the other night. Remember everybody drank tap water? Nobody drinks. I mean, I actually had a glass of tap water the other day because I look in my refrigerator and every time I'm at Coons, I buy a 6-pack of either Propel, Perrier, Evian. I always buy bottled water. And I'm thinking to myself, can you imagine me trying to convince my father to spend even $3 on bottled water? He would have said, you're out of your mind.
Well, now, like at our old house, we had a filter on the refrigerator, and that had the water on the outside, and that's what we would use. So it's like tap water, but it got rid of any sediments or flavors of the chemicals they use to keep it clean and to sanitize it. So I loved having that filtered water, and we put one up in our bedroom in the bathroom there too, because late at night you want to drink a water, you get it right out of the tap. I didn't like tap water. Now I don't have to worry about it. I love my tap water.
Well, yeah. I was thinking about that spring this morning at 2:30 when I was getting ice cubes. I'm like, I wonder if Frank's going to bring me any more. It's the most incredible water I've ever had. But you almost have to have bottled water today. And we've got so many varieties at Coons Market. And some of it is like next to nothing as far as the price is concerned because of the world we live in today. But even back when the mills were booming, people drank out of their tap every day.
Yeah, and now with bottled water, yes, it's convenient, but there's also, a cost factor. You worry about, you don't know what to believe when people test it and they say, well, there could be microplastics in it or not. You don't know.
You don't.
And so if you want to eliminate that worry altogether, go with the filters and tap water, or well water.
Sounds good. All right, short break. We'll come back, draw this week's winner. Great show today. Next week, we're talking tacos, but today, finger food and sandwiches went really well. Back with more in a moment.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Co-founder and president of Walnut Capital. Brains behind Bakery Square and beyond. Todd Reedboard.
There's that expression, good things come to those who wait. But we're really excited about looking forward. This is really the largest underdeveloped piece of land on our AI Avenue. Really anybody, any size of company that wants to come to Pittsburgh, wants to be in the heart of the AI Avenue ecosystem, we're ready for it.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for moms.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248 today.
Here's the latest from the KDKA Community Message Board.
If you're over 60 and looking for a weight loss program built specifically for you, Awaken 180 is your solution with Awaken 180 Golden, a new 1 to 3 month program for fast weight loss tailored to those over 60. Online at awaken180weightloss.com. New to Rivers Casino? Join now and earn up to $1,000 free slot play. Stop by Rush Rewards on your next visit to start earning today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. The Shindig Charitable Music Fest, August 1st through the 3rd at Union Brewing in Zelienople, presented by My Preferred Insurance and Home Solutions, is packed with the best mix of 18 regional and local musicians, playing everything from 80s and 90s country rock, blues, old school country, and classic and pop rock. All proceeds benefit local first responders.
Details at KDKA-radio.com.
If you're turning 65 this year, review your Medicare Part C options now. You need to know the difference between Advantage plans versus supplement plans. Contact locally owned and operated Need Part C today for a free consultation. That's Need Part C. Beat the annual enrollment rush. NeedPartC.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, get ready to phone in with all your tree-related questions. Also, are your trees strong enough for the next storm? And we are heading into a stormy month of August, as we normally are. Lots of thunder and lightning. So Carlos will be here from Greater Pitt Tree Service after the news at 9, then Accurate Solutions and the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show. Today, after local news at 11, Ray Fittipaldo at Steelers training camp. 11:30, John Parado, Pittsburgh Baseball Now, Hall of Fame, Dick Allen of Wampum, Dave Parker going in posthumously. And then the National Italian Sports Hall of Fame at the beautiful Lamont, August 5th, a place that Mr. Dentisi, his father, enshrined, and my good friend Pat DeMeo. A lot of people connected to that, I know, and one of them is Tommy Yankella, world-class boxing, who is going into this year's class. He'll join us after the new news. Right now, we're going to draw this week's winner of that $25 gift certificate on the Coons Cooking Hour, and the winner is...
This week winner is Angela from Mount Washington.
I'll tell you, best sandwich, though, finger food. You don't need to eat a lot with your fingers, but it goes all over, so you have to lean over the sink. A cold spaghetti sandwich. Still one of my all-time favorites.
Say the one I grew up with was eggplant parm.
Oh,
so eggplant parm. I got one at Vinny's the other day too.
In Elwood,
it was delicious.
I was telling those guys you've been hanging out in Elwood City. They want to meet you. All right, stay with us. News coming up at just a couple of seconds. It's 9 o'clock. More next on KDKA.
The preceding program was paid for by Coons Quality Market.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 75 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 9 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. A SWAT situation from earlier this morning in Garfield has ended. Let's go to KDKA TV's Jessica Riley, who's on the scene.
Yeah, I can tell you that right now the scene has been cleared up here on Broad Street in Garfield. This is our scene right now. We actually know it's one of these houses down here on the left-hand side of the 5100 block of Broad Street. Police do tell us that the scene cleared up and they do not have the man. He was not in the home, but they did tell us that he barricaded himself inside. That's what that call earlier to police. We can confirm from Pittsburgh Police an adult male supposedly barricaded himself inside a home following a reported domestic situation. Pittsburgh Police did confirm that an adult female in the situation was transported to an area hospital in stable condition. Police say it all happened at 5:15 this morning.
And Pittsburgh Police continue to search for that man. Stay tuned to News Radio KDK for more on this developing story. A person is dead after shooting at a Ligonier police officer during a traffic stop. Incident happened Saturday evening along Route 30. The person believed to have taken their own life after the traffic stop. No officers were injured. Westmoreland County detectives are investigating the incident. Well, a woman died in a motorcycle crash on Saturday. The crash happened around 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon on Oneida Valley Road. That's in Washington Township, Butler County. The crash took place on the route for the 14th annual Riding for the Cure, which began from the American Legion Post 778 around 11 o'clock Saturday morning. A man also suffered severe injuries from the crash and is in the hospital. The name of the woman who died has not been released. Well, a crash between a vehicle and a fire engine sent 7 people to the hospital. That crash happened in Wilkinsburg Saturday morning around 10:30 at Grand Boulevard and William Penn Highway. 4 firefighters were transported to the hospital in stable condition. 3 people from the vehicle were also transported to the hospital, and no word on their conditions. Well, the class of 2025 will be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown today.
Here's sports reporter Erica Herskowitz.
More than 25,000 people are expected to be on hand when 5 new members are enshrined, including outfielder Ichiro Suzuki, reliever Billy Wagner, and starter CeCe Sabathia, who says it's a dream come true.
Just even to go in the Hall of Fame in general, is a big honor, but to go in first ballot, I know what that means as a baseball player, and it's super exciting.
Sabathia, courtesy of MLB TV. Suzuki is also a first ballot Hall of Famer and the first ever Japanese-born player to be enshrined in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Erica Herskowitz for CBS News.
KDK Radio News Time, 9:03 on the dot. AccuWeather forecast next.
Okay, listen up. This is Dr. Shufo from the Weight Loss and Wellness Center. There are no negatives to clothes fitting better. Being able to walk up the stairs not winded, getting up off the floor easily, decreased meds and off medications, better hip and knee replacements, greater self-worth and self-esteem, and absolutely feeling genuinely happy with who you are. That's exactly what we're going to do together. Call for making these changes become a reality. 1-800-900-THIN.
Your bathroom's got to go, the vanity's decayed, and toilet's really old. The bathtub's giving way. Give Bath R Us a ring. Call morning, noon, or night. You do not have to wait to get your bathroom right.
Call Baths R Us for your free estimate and enter to win our Christmas in July $12,500 bathroom remodel with an additional savings of up to $3,000 plus low to no monthly payments. 412-556-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRIEND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. And you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling boss work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
My dad served in Vietnam, the 82nd Airborne Division. He never talked about it, and my mom knew not to ask. So Dad buried himself in work and self-medicated, and would lose his temper sometimes. Loud noises would put him on edge. It got rough, so I finally said to him, Dad, you gotta get help.
As a family member or friend, you may be the first to notice when a veteran you love has been going through changes. Things like withdrawing, drinking more, or increased anger could be a sign of a larger health concern, but help is available.
Dad finally went to VA for one-on-one and group therapy and got some really great tools to help him manage things. And I got my dad back.
Listen to hundreds of inspiring stories at maketheconnection.net and learn how you can support the veterans in your life. Treatment works. Recovery is possible.
My name is William Yank. I'm a 23-year-old, 3-time leukemia survivor. One evening, my roommate was trying to talk to me, and I responded to him in a delirium of mess and confusion, and he said, we're going to the ER immediately. And came back with leukemia. They started me on chemos, they started me on a bunch of antibiotics, but the chemo wasn't exactly working. So my oncologist decided that he wanted to try me with CAR T-cell therapy. And it worked. Leukemia Lymphoma Society was this unforeseen blessing for me because I wouldn't have been able to get CAR T-cell therapy. We are about 9 months post-transplant and feeling very healthy, strong, and I live.
To give or get help, visit LLS.org.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. You can join the movement to end hunger by donating, volunteering, and advocating. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/act now.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today looks humid with clouds breaking for some sun. Watch for a couple of showers and a heavy thunderstorm into the early evening hours. Any storm may bring flash flooding and damaging wind with a high of 84. Then cloudy tonight with a low of 69, followed by partly sunny, hot and humid days for tomorrow and Tuesday with a high of 92 tomorrow, 94 Tuesday. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Rob Frax on the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, back at it. It's your Pratt Pack for a Sunday. We have a lot of stuff to get to in this hour. We'd love to hear from you as well. And we're going to kind of go back to some of the things we've been talking about in the early part of the weekend show. And, you know, one of the things that I got talking about yesterday that really started because of a listener and then another listener brought up. We were talking about Senator McCormick and Senator Fetterman actually going into Edgar Thompson and touring the plant on Friday. And I was talking about that's a perfect step in the right direction for bipartisan politics. Well, all of a sudden, I had some Democrats and people that weren't Democrats saying, well, Rob, do you see what's happening here? And I'm like, what? I see bipartisan politics. I see two politicians working together, hand in hand, actually going to do something for the greater good. And they said, do you realize the Democrats, because they believe that John Fetterman is siding too much with the Republican Party, in particular our president, that they're going to set him up to fail? And I'm like, why would they do that? And somebody mentioned Connor Lamb could be the guy that they would back. I love Connor Lamb, a lot of respect, military background, did incredibly well in politics in the short time that he was there, tried to take the giant leap, didn't work. And I figured he would resurface someday, maybe even as a gubernatorial candidate, especially if Mr. Shapiro would move on to the White House, right? Well, all of a sudden, it was like a lightning bolt. Everybody was just wanting to jump in on the conversation. So we didn't get enough time to really get into it because we ran out of time. Just about the time that I started to realize there must be some sort of groundswell here. But my question to you is, if you're a Democrat, are you upset that you have a senator who actually understands that the only way that you get things done is you have to communicate? Are you upset that you actually have a senator representing Western Pennsylvania as much as any other part of Pennsylvania, but he knows this part of Pennsylvania the best because of his years as the mayor in that great community of Braddock? That he's actually trying to at least let the president, that administration, know that he is here to listen, and if it is for the greater good, let's get it done. And he's also doing something that we haven't seen since early Casey Toomey. They're working together. And maybe you misunderstood or didn't understand at all the significance of what happened on Friday at Edgar Thompson. You had two people in prominent positions that will actually help forge a better workforce in this country by working together. So how many of you believe that there is something to that the Democrats are going to maybe try to replace him because they don't like the fact that he has kind of been open-minded with the administration? And how many are you that are Republicans in the audience actually think there's something to that? I mean, to me, why, if it ain't broke, why fix it? I think this is probably the best example anywhere in the country right now showing the world that it actually does work. It actually does work. When you communicate with people, you can actually make things happen in America. I mean, right now, the biggest story in this region, obviously coming off the Energy Summit, is what's happening at Edgar Thompson. And do you understand, within a matter of weeks, if you're anywhere in those communities that make up the Mon Valley and you're driving around today, going out for some groceries, church services, whatever, I want you to take a very close look. And I want you to take a deep dive into what's happening. And I want you, when you're at a traffic light, or if you happen to live in that community and you're on your front porch enjoying your Sunday morning coffee, get ready. Because it's going to be like somebody takes a wand and goes abracadabra. The magic is going to unfold like never before. And if it takes a Republican president, who many people believe that Republicans aren't so union-friendly, and if it takes a Democratic senator and a Republican senator who are both kind of new to Washington to realize sometimes you have to meet each other halfway, so be it. Get ready. The world is going to change. So the question, how many of you believe they're going to try, the Democratic Party, to replace him, meaning John Fetterman? How many of you Democrats would want to see that? How many of you Republicans feel the same way? But I got that vibe. You know how the hair on the back of your neck stands up and you start thinking and it becomes like it consumes you? And I'm thinking, if any Democrat has that thought process, then they must want the country to fail. They must want the country to fail. Look, as a Democrat, I would much rather spend time in the Oval Office shaking the president's hand and agreeing, if I believe he's doing the right thing, to be able to create wealth. And that means steady paychecks in the Mon Valley. And if you look at this country right now, never before has there been more important time to get back to building things, and steel has always been the number one choice of making anything better. And if you go back in time, and I'll explain this more throughout the hour, it's almost like we're back at the turn of the 19th going into the 20th century. But we're in a new century, 20 plus years into it, but we have to rebuild America from sea to shining sea. Every peak, every valley, every main street, every thriving city, community, municipality, township, borough, everything, infrastructure, buildings, the school system in this country, public education, brick and mortar. And you need steel. And because of Nippon and because of U.S. Steel, we're going to be able to do it. And all the other little ancillary places that have been doing it for years or maybe haven't in a while, it's going to be the domino effect, the spillover. And all the raw materials and the people, the teamsters driving the trucks, the railroads, and everything taken from the ground, the coal to make the steel. And with the energy, the natural gas as the caveat, incredible. Happy days are here again. Your number, The call is 866-391-1020. Bonus hour, your Pratt Pack, KDK. Let's go.
When you need to talk, we're here for you. Always have been. News Radio KDKA.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
If something happens to you, what happens to your family? Will they struggle financially? Will they be able to afford the home you built together? With Ethos, you can get life insurance coverage in minutes. Get up to $2 million in coverage for as little as $2 a day. All online with no medical exam. Just answer a few health questions. Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life. Rates may vary. Billed monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
The biggest reason Metropolitan Window Company has been in business since 1978 is our huge list of satisfied customers.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you're getting expertise and attention to detail from a trusted business that puts your needs first.
You're also getting our exclusive Infinity from Marvin 100% fiberglass windows that are built for life.
The most important part of a window is the framing. Fiberglass frames won't lose their dimensional integrity. They're the strongest, longest-lasting window you can buy.
And right now, you can save 30% and get 18-month no-interest financing on every window and door product we offer.
Stop by one of our showrooms, visit us at metropolitanwindows.com, or give us a call at 412-655-8411.
PA 1565.
Jump in July savings continue at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. Boneless, skinless chicken breasts or breast tenders, $2.99 a pound. Sweet Northwest cherries, $1.88 a pound. And selected varieties of Totino's pizza rolls, 24.8-ounce package, $3.88 each. Additional savings in our meat department. All natural fresh chicken drumsticks, $1.29 a pound. And all natural fresh whole chicken wings are $2.29 a pound. In our produce department, locally grown zucchini or yellow squash, 99 cents a pound. And Pennsylvania-grown Baby Bella mushrooms, 10-ounce packages, 2 for $6. In our deli department, Pittsburgh local Silver Star ham off the bone, $8.99 a pound. And award-winning flavor from Ohio, Guggisburg Swiss cheese, $6.99 a pound. And this week, selected varieties of Turkey Hill drinks. Gallon jugs are 2 for $5.
Get in on the Jump in July savings at Coons Market. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
All right, I'm ready to go to the phones. How about you? 866-391-1020. Talking about this whole thing that kind of became the buzz of the show yesterday, and it's got me thinking, because I really love what these two have been doing. And I see a lot of people who were really against John Fetterman for a number of reasons, starting to buy into saying this guy's working overtime. I mean, imagine what it took for him in a very unbipartisan world to go to Mar-a-Lago as he did. I don't care what you call it. To me, that's what a politician is supposed to do. You're supposed to be proactive to help your constituents. I'll be honest with you. What I saw him do at Edgar Thompson and what I've been seeing him do lately, he'll get my vote again. He will. I just hope the Democratic Party isn't thinking what a lot of the same vibes I was getting from people who are pretty smart when it comes to the whole political process. I hope we don't live in a world where Democrats can't reach across the aisle and Republicans can't reach across the aisle. And no matter what any of you think, you can talk about meds, edge, technology, the latest app, SpaceX, cars with electric engines, Tesla, and more. The thing that really matters is our backyard, what's going to help people here. And this deal between Nippon and U.S. Steel is going to help us here, right here. All right, George Clairton. Hey, Georgie, how you doing? Good morning.
All right there, Rob. First off, I'm a little offended. I didn't make your family list about 3 days ago.
I forgot you, but you are family.
Oh, it ain't the first time I've been forgotten. Well, I tell you what, I don't really use the words Republican and Democrat. I really don't in my common language because I voted so many different ways over the years in 76. I don't even use the words liberal and conservative. To me, I go back to ninth grade physics. Chris Moore had his in 8th grade, I guess. He's smarter than me. 9th grade physics. Civics, I'm sorry. And the liberals and conservatives, one wanted it was radicals instead of liberals. They wanted a quick fix, which we all wish we could. Conservatives rode the stuff out. It's all been different nowadays. Like Trump, he's not your basic Republican. None of them are. These are somewhat radical people, but they're not conservatives. But one thing I think the common ground we could look at least right now, and we could put our arms down right now like a little pause and Braveheart, is what I really feel is coming to this valley. No one else seems to have this enthusiasm. You do. But people I talk to around here, some of the heavy hitters in these small towns, they've seen too many heard too many promises. I don't know why I'm more attuned to it now than ever. I've listened to talk radio since 9/11. That's 25 years, and even off and on before that. But I've never heard these figures coming in. So back to Fetterman, I liked him all along. I remember when he was being pretty ridiculed after his stroke on this station about 3 years ago. I voted for him. And I'd vote for him again. I didn't really like him wearing the hoodies and that kind of crap. But if that was his stick, and it must have been, it was. Maybe he grew up. Maybe he had a change at heart. But, why limit yourself? Just like a lot of these guys around town. They don't want to work in the mills. They don't want to shave their beards off. A lot of guys don't want to get drug tests. Why limit yourself and your capabilities because of just some outward, and in the case of that stuff, inward things you're doing, which you could modify? I just can't see taking yourself out of the equation.
Georgie, but how can people believe you spend $14.9 billion for something,
right,
and you're not going to spend the money? I mean, no matter how many times we've been basically left out to dry, this isn't going to be the case. I mean, there's too much money already exchanging hands. I mean,
and the other from the AI going on 2 weeks ago, come Tuesday down CMU. I was down CMU right then. I drive kids around, and I was right in there at the I forget the name of the hall, not Keystone Hall, another hall in there. But and to hear these numbers again, what was the other numbers? Were what, 90 million into the valley, right?
Yes,
from the
90
AI?
billion. Yep.
Was it billion with a B?
Yeah, billion with a B.
I lose track of all these. They're zeros.
You're thinking. Whoa. Hold on. You're thinking of some millions, like in Beaver County and Aliquippa, but it's billions overall, and a lot of it's going into Homer City, and a lot of those dollars are going into Bruce Mansfield too.
Okay, well, I mean, there's still an impetus. Money is energy, and you always have your controllers and everybody that's what they do. They watch where the money goes. Because humans, I don't know if the old tabula rasa thing still holds up. If people are born great and get corrupted or vice versa. But you got to watch how it's spent. But I think this stuff, we don't use the word earmarked. Can we actually say this money is earmarked to come into these valleys and spur growth?
Listen, it's coming. You just got to have faith. It's coming. But my original question, do you actually think the Democratic Party is going to try to remove John Fetterman because he's partnered up with, at times, with the president and his administration?
I don't know. There's always some old dogs on all ends of the spectrum who just want to stir some crap up. Maybe they're jealous. Maybe they don't have that kind of finesse. And if we're not in a civil war, you might as well reach across. That's how simple I view this. I view it like a boxing ring. You could be in there punching away, and when that bell sounds, you stop. Well, right now we're at stop mode, and we're going to another layer of this piece of garlic, and let the man do his thing. He's a nonconformist. That's why I like Fetterman. He has a lot of socialist ideas.
I think Fetterman is a man with a plan, and I think he understands to get stuff done. Sometimes you have to suck up your pride And we've all been there, you know, and you got to be able to counterpunch because you're going to get punched. Life is going to punch you square in the face. You have to be able to take a punch, and you got to be able to throw a punch. I appreciate it, George. And for someone who's taken a few punches in his life, I commend John Fetterman for what he's done. All right, I got to get to the news, and then I got a couple more folks that want to talk to me. But do you think that would actually happen? And don't you, how many of you are actually on the fence thinking that you don't think this stuff's going to happen? I mean, even if you're the most hopeless person in the world, bottom line is a lot of cash is already exchanged hands, and there's no way anybody's going to cut a check to buy real estate and not do anything to develop it. I mean, all companies need write-offs, but we're talking billions with a B, not millions, billions. 866-391-1020. More of your calls coming up on the other side. It is your Prat Pack, a little bonus hour today on a Sunday at KDKA. Good morning.
Lunch was great. Lawrenceville is such a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
The Pittsburgh Speaker Series presented by University of Pittsburgh announces its 25-26 season at Heinz Hall. 7 events will broaden your perspective and deepen your understanding of the world around you. Featuring Dr. Anthony Fauci, Malcolm Gladwell, historian Doris Kearns Goodwin, former Russian political prisoner Vladimir Kara-Murza, and geopolitical economist Pippa Malmgren. The series is sponsored by News Radio KDKA and the Spanos Group of Raymond James. Tickets on sale now at pittsburghspeakers.org.
It's Marty Griffin. I have seen so much angst and anger these days that, you know what's overwhelmed me with joy and optimism? This Get Marty. The folks in this community that have stepped up. You can't help your neighbor if you hate your neighbor. Get Marty epitomizes that opportunity to help people, feed people, clothe people, educate people. If you need me, Get Marty at kdkradio.com.
Get Marty is presented by Phil DeLuceni and Associates, Levin Furniture, UPMC Health System, CNS Construction, John Keefe Restaurant Group of Oakmont, and by Robert Pierce and Associates. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 75 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 9:30. I'm Rob Taylor. A SWAT situation from earlier this morning in Garfield has come to an end. KDKA TV's Jessica Riley is at the scene.
Yeah, I can tell you that right now the scene has been cleared up here on Broad Street in Garfield. This is our scene right now. We actually know it's one of these houses down here on the left-hand side of the 5100 block of Broad Street. Police do tell us that the scene cleared up and they do not have the man. He was not in the home, but they did tell us that he barricaded himself inside. That's what that call earlier to police. We can confirm from Pittsburgh police an adult male supposedly barricaded himself inside a home following a reported domestic situation. Pittsburgh police did confirm that an adult female in the situation was transported to an area hospital in stable condition. Police say it all happened at 5:15 this morning.
And Pittsburgh police continue to search for that man. Stay with News Radio KDK for more on this developing story. Pittsburgh police continue to search for a missing 15-year-old boy. Timothy Powell reported missing after leaving a local hospital in the 3800 block of O'Hara Street Saturday morning. Powell is known to have mental health challenges and may be drawn to areas with water. Powell also is reported to be fearful of law enforcement, which could affect how he responds if approached. Powell is 5'7", 130 pounds, blue eyes, blonde hair. Last seen wearing a gray T-shirt, blue jeans, and shower shoes. If you know his whereabouts, call 911. KDK Radio News Time, 9:31. Next updates at 10. I'm Rob Taylor on the Voice of Pittsburgh. News Radio KDK.
Listen, Colin Dunlap here for Boulevard Glass in Meadow. This July, turn up that heat on your bathroom makeover with a customized glass shower door from Boulevard Glass and Metal. Whether you're upgrading for style or function, their sleek, made-to-measure glass doors bring a spa-like feel to any space. Fast installation and flawless finishes. Ask your contractor or call Boulevard Glass and Metal directly, 412-621-1799. Boulevard Glass and Metal, clearly the right choice.
With so many options, choosing the right funding solution for your small business can be confusing and complicated. LendSeek makes it easy. Our AI platform instantly matches your business with over 100 funders to find the perfect fit up to $1 million in as fast as 24 hours. Recently, a business owner needed $100,000 that same day to beat new tariff pricing and avoid a 3-week shipping delay. LendSeek got him funded in just 2 hours. He locked in pre-tariff pricing, kept shelves stocked, and steered clear of the storm. And because LendSeek continually evaluates new funding options for your changing needs, it's easy to see why 90% of our clients come back for additional funding. If you've been in business at least 2 years with annual revenue of at least $500,000, qualifying is easy, with no collateral, no out-of-pocket costs, and no hassle. LendSeek is open for business. Apply now with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com, LENDSEEK.com. LendSeek. You seek, we lend.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Clouds will give way to some sun at times today. It stays humid with showers and a heavy thunderstorm lasting into the early evening. Any storm may bring damaging wind with a high of 84, then cloudy tonight, low 69, followed by twin hot, humid, and partly sunny days tomorrow and Tuesday with a high of 92 tomorrow, 94 Tuesday. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Oh, I got one more thing to say before we get to these phones. Man, I'm glad I got this extra hour. There's a lot of stuff I want to get off my chest, and we'll continue to roll through the week with some special guests to tie into all these things we're talking about. So I've been really complimenting Josh Shapiro, the governor, a lot lately. And going to the Energy Summit, that is what you want to see. Kind of like what Fetterman did with McCormick going into Edgar Thompson. And the Energy Summit and everything, okay? Even the governor's been touting that, talking about other things. But he did go on Stephen Colbert at the end of the week, and he made a statement. And I just want to get your thoughts on this, because I've been asking people if they agree. And Josh Shapiro is going to be a formidable opponent. I believe he's got the gubernatorial race really sewed up, because the Republicans that I thought could give him a fighting chance, Mauser and company, they've kind of backed away. And I've actually asked some of the more prolific and more well-known Republican state Senate, state representatives if they would ever run. I've done it on the air, and they've been blunt with me. No, no, no. I mean, I've asked Devlin Robinson. I've asked Kim Ward. But he said something, and I don't necessarily agree with this, with all due respect. And that's what being bipartisan things. You agree, then sometimes you don't. He told Stephen Colbert, and it has nothing to do with the whole Colbert situation, because I told you my thought process there. I mean, you're losing $40 million a year. You got 200 employees with all the streaming and podcasts and great talk radio like we have. There's just, the world's changed. I mean, at one time, 3 networks, that's really basically all you had. End of the day, people, the millions around the country tuned in. I mean, at one time, Johnny Carson had an audience of 30 million a night. That ain't happening no more. There's just too much information out there on the information highway. But he said to Stephen Colbert, he said, I've seen the president many times say one thing to the people of Pennsylvania and then let them down. He talked about Medicaid, which I've had elder law attorneys say it on this radio station with me. I've had people who are in the business of Medicare say it. Medicaid is not, people are not going to end up in the street, okay? They're trying to streamline it. They're trying to stop the overspending in all aspects of government. So when your children become of age, my children become of age, Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security will exist. I don't like everything the president does either, but I just want to clarify. But here's my question. Do you believe President Trump has let Pennsylvania down? I don't think so. John Fetterman has not let us down. Dave McCormick has definitely not let us down. I got to be honest with you. The people that run in my circles, the Kim Wards, the Jay Costas, the Devlin Robinson, I mean, I have them all on. None of them have let me down. Josh Kale, none of them. So I'm just curious what you think about the governor saying that. And I don't know, maybe I'm misquoting him, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. He said he just has seen many times the president, and I said before, Josh Shapiro, he will get my vote for governor, and if he is the 2028 candidate Democrat, he's going to get my vote. I like the guy. And what did I say earlier? Your backyard. You have an opportunity to take care of your backyard. That's what you do, right? That's what you do. And I think he's got charisma. I think he's got star power, and he does get things done. He's a man of action. But I don't think, even if you're not a fan of Donald Trump, even if you didn't vote for Donald Trump, I don't think he's let Pennsylvania down. I think he's actually helped Pennsylvania. And the biggest ticket in town, the pawn, U.S. Steel, even though it really was those negotiating to get it done, including the great rank and file, the USW, he did a lot. A lot. So let me know. 866-391-1020. Let's go to Butler. Good morning. You're on KDK. How are you?
Yeah, good morning, Rob.
How you doing, Tim?
Good. I just wanted to comment on Senator Fetterman. I voted for Senator Fetterman, and I believe that I'd vote for him again. Your question was, how do the Democrats feel? And from what I see, it looks like a lot of people are, mad at the senator. I believe there was one vote he voted and sided with the Republican side. But, I'm old enough to remember when Tip O'Neill was Speaker of the House. And, of course, he worked across the aisle with people, his whole time. And we do need that. But that being said, it's pretty hard to find a Republican that will work across the aisle. I mean, if you
listen, that I will agree on. Go ahead.
Okay, so basically, if you go back to needing to appoint a Supreme Court justice for the United States, I mean, we went for like 8 months and they stalled. So, a lot of the Republicans are speaking about the Democrats and saying how they're angry and this and that. Well, for years, we've had Rush Limbaugh's, Sean Hannity, all your podcasts. I mean, for years, those people have done nothing but, make the Democrats out to be the bad guy. And so the Republican Party as a whole, I believe, just cannot stand the Democrats.
All right. Well, let me interject something. Sure. I was a fan of Rush Limbaugh. Had nothing to do with his politics. I just thought he was a great entertainer. Okay, always have been, and a guy who basically came from being a disc jockey in this incredible business that is my entire life, and I love every second of it, to really becoming someone who was making a difference. You look at any traditional talk radio, and I know a little bit about it. Usually, those who think from the left side of that microphone as opposed to the right don't make it. Because you know what's been happening in our country, whether I want to admit it, whether you believe it or not, but something that the Republican chair of Allegheny County said on my show a couple of months back, that when he said it, it almost knocked me off my chair. But the more I think about it, and especially the things that I've been seeing with the Energy Summit with Senator McCormick, with the president and the pawn in U.S. Steel, the Republican Party is becoming the party of the working class people. And members of the USW standing behind the president saying thank you in their hard hats and that incredible orange color and that uniform of U.S. Steel. The Republican Party is becoming the working class party. And when you look at the Republican Party now, you know what it reminds me of, Tim? The Democratic Party that my mother voted for because she was a Democrat in the 60s. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing right now.
So, Rob, I do think that the Republicans have done a few things here recently that have really enticed the labor and thinking, but I'm not totally sold on the Nippon deal yet. Now, I hope that.
But Tim, how can listen, Tim, and I respect your opinion, sir. $14.9 billion. You don't stroke a check, and you don't put $3 billion into the Mon Valley and then close it down or sell it off.
Sir.
Go
and
ahead.
I agree with you. I think that there's just something that I'm not seeing, whether I haven't researched enough.
No, you know what it is? You know what it is? It's fear. It's people from that other party putting fear into people because they didn't get the deal done. That's exactly, and they're looking for everything they can to upset the apple cart. That's why this Epstein thing is now going to turn into a top headline. You're going to be hearing it to the point you're going to want to not hear about it. I'm telling you, they're reaching for straws right now because they can't catch this guy. The only guy that could probably really catch him, and I mean this, is Josh Shapiro. So what I see him doing right now, he is basically what I said earlier. He's counterpunching. And for members of the Democratic Party, and I happen to be one, I like that. But I haven't seen it in many others. But I do love what John Fetterman's doing because you know what he's saying? Look, I have to face reality here. If I want to get certain things done, I got to at least be able to sit at the table. And that's exactly what he's doing, and that's why I respect it. Go ahead.
That, Robin. You know, when you talk about the Republican Party being the party of labor, I
said working class people, not necessarily labor. I said working class people. And not that labor isn't, but you're thinking like union labor, which I respect, but many would disagree with me on that.
I am thinking of union labor because of the simple fact that union labor, when they do well, all the other labor in the country typically does well, because let's say you have a plumber that's a union plumber and he's making $40 an hour. You have a plumber that's non-union and he's a good guy and he's a good worker, and his boss is going to say, hey, I better reward this guy. If I'm not going to give him the 40, I'm going to give him a truck to take home. I'm going to give him a gas card. I'm going to take care of him because I don't want to lose him to a union labor. So that the unions bring everybody up. Now, the thing of it is, when we can get the Republican Party to vote for union to support their labor, that's where the difference is right there. You can do this and that a little bit, but until you get those votes where they actually vote on laws that support, whether they're safety, just all kinds health, all kinds of labor laws that they've been trying to basically knock them down.
All right. I gotta get to a break. Go ahead. About 30 more seconds. Go ahead.
Well, I appreciate it. That's about all I have to say today, Rob. But you have a good day, and thanks a lot.
Hey, you bet, Tim. Good call. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you very much. All right, coming up, we got Jake in Cranberry and Bishop in Denora. Look, this is like when we were little. Remember, you used to have to take castor oil, which was kind of like a laxative type of thing, and it tasted horrible. And you'd have to line up. Maybe you didn't, but we did once a month. That's what they did back in the day. You hated it, but your parents were doing it because they wanted to take care of you, okay? So there's certain things that I don't like either that physically make me sick, okay? Especially when I hear people that still don't believe all of the good news that all of us have worked so hard to get to. And the only thing that matters to me, even though I'm talking about the AI, the data, all this other stuff, most important business in this region is steel. U.S. Steel, Nippon Steel, Nippon U.S. Steel. I don't care how you say it. That's the future. That's the future. And if you look at where the country is right now in this whole rebuild, even Mr. Biden said we're going to use American resources and materials and workers, and this $1 trillion build back better. The president did at the time. Don't you understand with Nippon and U.S. Steel, now we're going to have it being made right here to get it done. Amtrak, talking about new rails, steel right here. You want to do solar power someday? You need steel? We got it. Wind power for the windmills, those blades. Even the president at the time, Joe Biden in Scranton, said, just right after he got elected, I want it done here in Pennsylvania. I got roots in Scranton. Let's face reality. There's a lot of good stuff happening. We have to stay on point. And if you're a Democrat, you got to talk to a Republican. And if you're a Republican, you got to talk to Democrats. We'll be back.
Every Tuesday morning at 7:20, listen for Inside Independence Health, a look at all things healthcare with the experts from Independence Health System. It's brought to you by Independence Health System. Expert care here.
Just don't do it. Just don't go another day climbing in and out of that unsafe, ugly bathtub. Today's the day to step into a gorgeous new shower from PJ Fitzpatrick. The jacuzzi shower system from PJ Fitzpatrick features a low entry threshold. Just walk right in. The jacuzzi shower is luxurious, affordable, and it installs in just 1 day. Plus, PJ will include a free shower seat and safety bars for all customers this month. Visit trustpj.com today for your free design consultation.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRIEND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Home title theft. It's on the rise, and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert. And that's bad news for home title thieves. So when's the last time you checked on the title to your home? Find out if you're already a victim with your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value free with sign up. Just go to HomeTitleLock.com and sign up in minutes. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
If you're turning 65 this year, review your Medicare Part C options now. You need to know the difference between Advantage plans versus supplement plans. Contact locally owned and operated Need Part C today for a free consultation. That's Need Part C. Beat the annual enrollment rush. NeedPartC.com.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
You know, and to be perfectly blunt with all of you, I don't know if we'll ever see a president be able to get as much done as we're seeing right now. I think he's just figured it out, and that 4 years in between terms gave him even more of an opportunity to take a close look on how things have to be done. Sprinkling in a little old traditional politicians, but definitely some boardroom bullying, too. I mean, it is what it is. All right, here we go. Jake Cranberry. Jake, you're on the air with your Pratt Pack. Good morning.
Yeah, Rob, I think you're exactly right. Those 4 years in between, getting the people behind them, that's what smart people do, is surround themselves with smarter people. And it's happening. It's happening for Pennsylvania. It's happening for America. And, for the people going about Medicaid, Medicare, all of that stuff, when we go to the doctor's office now, we have to show an ID. We didn't before. Why do we have to show an ID? Because there's so much waste, fraud, and abuse in the systems that they want you to show an ID. So I don't understand why some people can't accept. There's problems, and it's costing the American taxpayer that can't afford it because they're taxed to death already. That's why they're doing it. And that's why we're going further, because there's still waste, fraud, and abuse. That's what we want to eliminate. And, I don't know why a healthy adult, whatever they want to call it, should get free stuff from other Americans. Old people, disabled people, babies, everything. That's all still there. It's not going anywhere. But the people scamming the system, that's got to go away. what are we, $37 trillion in debt? We got to stop it. That's part of it. Building the companies, building the industry that we're hearing about right now, that we're all hoping will happen, right? In whether it's in Homer City or in the Mon Valley, we're all hoping and praying that'll happen, and it looks like it's gonna. And we need to take care of the other stuff too. Wow. I think you're exactly right. I didn't expect you to say it, but I think you're exactly right. We're going to have to search long and hard for a president that is getting as much done as this president is. It's only been 6 months, Rob.
Well, well, listen, let me just interject something here. I don't think we'll have anybody ever be able to do what this guy's done because he is in working mode all the time. He did it in the private sector, whether it was building skyscrapers, golf courses, or a reality TV show. The guy likes to have a lot on his plate. That's what makes him get up, and that's what drives him every day. And I think so many generations have been removed since that generation. And let's face it, he's going to be 80 years old. That I think even people who become such as a president, they're used to not working more than 8 to 10 hours a day. They don't understand about being on the clock. Like I grew up, I was on the clock for the first 20, 25 years I was here, 24/7. Sometimes I worked an entire summer on the radio without a day off because that's what I was told to do, and I was respected because of it, but I was more appreciative of having the job. So what I'm getting at is I think Donald Trump is a dying breed. And I think he's trying to bring back, it's kind of like, you know, how they brought back the woolly mammoth and they're doing all these little different things through DNA. I think he's trying to bring back the great American workforce that built this country and worked overtime and took care of their houses and went to work on an assembly line and got dirt under their fingernails and were grateful for everything they got from their employer, and the employer was grateful for them. Donald Trump is looking at everything to make America first again, but more importantly, to make people of privilege, and that means everyone born into this great country, to realize that it's their opportunity, your opportunity, my opportunity to truly make America great again. Not just for now, but so we won't be dealing with this 50 years from now. That's what I think he's doing, Jake.
And you have the other politicians who will, well, we're going to do a study, we're going to form a blue ribbon committee, and he's cutting the red tape.
There's no time for any more studies. There's no more time. Nope. Now it's time for action. Now it's time for action. And the Democrats, the best thing that's happened to the Democrats, and I'm a Democrat and I'm going to stay a Democrat, no matter how many people try to sway me, I'm not going to change parties. I'll tell you that right now, is Josh Shapiro. Josh Shapiro may be the kryptonite. He may be the only person. If not, J.D. Vance is going to walk into the White House. I mean, unless we have somebody as members of the Democratic Party, and I like a good, fair fight, I want it to be competitive, unless we have somebody who can, as I said earlier, counterpunch, it's not going to happen. And the Republicans could actually be in the White House. Then you got Rubio, then possibly Pam Bondi, Carolyn Levitt. You could be there for the next 20, 25 years unless you start fighting fair, but counterpunching. Every time they do something, you basically fight them with their own fire and punch back. At least Josh Shapiro was punching back with Stephen Colbert. I haven't heard any Democrat do that. And you have one Democrat who's actually getting stuff done because he's actually reaching out and wanting to talk to members of that administration, including the president. And you got people saying, well, you know, they're going to replace him. Already talking about Conor Lamb as the next candidate because he's not really what the party wants. Don't you want to get stuff done? Isn't that what it's all about, Jake? Getting stuff done?
Working together, get it done. Thank you, Rob.
All right, man. I think that's the first time I ever out-talked Jake, but I'm just frustrated with all of this. I'm just frustrated with it all. We deserve better in America. You know, I'm glad we had this extra hour because there was so much stuff just brewing in my cranium and between my ears. I'm telling you, that happened yesterday with one caller. I went, okay. And then it happened again and again, and then my blood started to boil. And I thought to myself, am I the member of a wonderful Democratic Party that I'm a proud member of? Some of the greatest people who have FDR, John F. Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy. I mean, so many, right? And I thought to myself, is this party willing to get rid of or at least try someone who's probably done more in a short time than well, I mean, kind of reminds me of Bob Casey right out of the chute many years ago. But other than that, I don't know anybody who's taken a Senate seat and done as much as John Fetterman, and he's done a lot. But look what Dave McCormick has done. And if I'm a Democrat like I am, I'm thinking, what can I do to keep up with Dave McCormick? And then it becomes a healthy competition. And guess who really wins when you have a healthy competition between a Democrat and a Republican, and they actually talk, create, and generate? The working class of the state of Pennsylvania. That's who wins. All right, we'll get to much more of this throughout the week. Going to take a bit of a break, Accurate Solutions, and then we've got a jam-packed Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show. I hope you'll stay with us. Why wouldn't you? KDKA 100.1 FM, AM 1020. It's your Pratt Pack. Good morning.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Co-founder and president of Walnut Capital, brains behind Bakery Square and Beyond, Todd Reedborn.
There's that expression, good things come to those who wait. But we're really excited about looking forward. This is really the largest underdeveloped piece of land on our AI Avenue. Really anybody, any size of company that wants to come to Pittsburgh, wants to be in the heart of the AI Avenue ecosystem, we're ready for it.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-355-8282. That's 800-355-8282. Again, that's 800-355-8282.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. NASCO Roofing, the region's roofing leader. Wow, they're good. They continue to exceed customer expectation. For instance, Charles from Bethel Park highly recommends NASCO. Charles was pleased with NASCO's exemplary customer service and the quality of their work. NASCO has satisfied thousands like Charles. Now's the time to get NASCO on your roof. Call NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000, 412-373-2000. Most jobs done in a day. Special financing available. NASCO, NASCO.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 76 degrees in Pittsburgh International at 10 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. A person is dead after shooting at a Ligonier police officer during a traffic stop. The incident happened Saturday evening along Route 30. The person is believed to have taken her own life following that traffic stop. No officers were injured. Westmoreland County detectives are investigating the incident. A woman died in a motorcycle crash Saturday afternoon. The crash happened around 1 o'clock Saturday at Oneida Valley Road. That's in Washington Township, Butler County. The crash took place on the route for the 14th annual Riding for the Cure, which began from American Legion Post 778 around 11 Saturday morning. A man also suffered severe injuries from the crash and is in the hospital. The name of the woman who died has not been released. Pennsylvania Congressman Mike Kelly's office in Hermitage, Mercer County, was vandalized early Saturday morning. The words written in red on the office windows and door read things like, quote, "Mental illness is not a crime," end quote. A statement for Congressman Kelly said no one was at the East State Street office when the vandalism took place. Congressman Kelly said in a statement, quote, "Let's be clear, political violence and vandalism are never acceptable," end quote. U.S. Capitol Police are among the agencies investigating that incident. Close to a dozen people were recovering after a suspect went on a stabbing spree at a Michigan Walmart, as we hear from Allie Baxter of WWMT Television.
A Grand Traverse Sheriff deputy was on scene within 3 minutes. Sheriff Mike Shea also confirmed there was help from a citizen inside Walmart to get the suspect into custody.
The suspect is a 42-year-old male
We believe he acted alone at this time.
Acted alone, and according to the sheriff's office, he used a folding knife to injure the 11 victims. The sheriff says 6 men and 5 women were stabbed.
A crash between a vehicle and a fire engine left 7 people having to go to the hospital. That crash happened in Wilkinsburg Saturday morning around 10:30 at